Hello there.
Welcome to the Space Twitter Trust and Safety Team. Our job is to monitor all space tweets for potential misinformation and disinformation so that we can censor it appropriately. Also, it is imperative that no one calls anyone else a retard. Those that do shall be immediately suspended from Space Twitter permanently. Do you understand?
Oh. Yes, sir.
Very good.
George Lucas, next to you, who is the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth?
Steve, that Star Wars boy. If I can do something and Steve says, oh, wow, then I won. Something that people can enjoy. Just somebody who's got a fetish with making the world be the way he wants it to be. Sort of narcissistic.
Have you heard about Steve, that Star Wars boy's new YouTube channel?
I think it's a very important part of society, and I'm going to create a world where people can fly.
You can't shoot me. Check out this badass move. I am the most badass speeder driver in all of the galaxy. Just watch how badass I am. You can't stop me from finding my new grill.
Oh yeah? I'll find it first.
I told you I was a badass. Now, let's go find a new grill.
You do not cover your face. You are not Mandalorian.
Catch me outside, how about that?
What does your dream girl look like? Does she have long dangly laku? Are you all alone tonight? Well, let's turn up the temperature. It's about to get hot in here. Call now to talk to hot Twi'lek girls. We are waiting for you.
Only 99 keshels per space minute. Adults only.
I was a terror since the public school era. Bathroom passes, cutting classes, squeezing asses. Smoking blunts was a daily routine since 13. A chubby nigga on the scene. I used to have the tray deuce and the deuce in my bubble goose. Now I got the Mac in my knapsack, lounging black, smoking sacks up in accent sidekicks with my sidekicks, rocking fly kicks. Honeys wanna chat, but all we wanna know is where the party at. And can I bring my gat? If not, I hope I don't get shot. Better throw my vest on my chest, cause niggas is a mess. It don't take nothing but frontin' for me to start something. Bugging and bucking at niggas like I was duck hunting. Dumbing out just me and my crew, cause all we wanna do is bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. Bitches in the back looking righteous in a tight dress. I think I might just hit her with a little Biggie 101. How to tote a gun and have fun with Jamaican rum conversation. Blunts in rotation. My man Big Jock got the Glock in his waist and we're smoking, drinking. Got the hooker thinking, if money smell bad, then this nigga Big is stinking. Is it my charm? I got the hookers eating out my palm. She grabbed my arm and said, let's leave calm. I'm hitting skins again. Rolled up another blunt for the Heineken. Niggas start to loke out, a kid got choked out, blows were stoned, and a fucking fight broke out. Can't we just all get along so I could put hickeys on the chest like little Sean? Get a pissy drunk off a Dom Perignon, and it's on, and I'm gone. That's that party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit and party and bullshit. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow. It's the N-O-G-O-R-I-O-U-S. You just lay down slow.
That's much better than the one I had in the movie.
What's up, everybody? This is episode 11 of the Blue Milk Social. Tonight we've got Arrogant Ape and Crazy Mad. We're going to be discussing the first 3 episodes of Andor, which we have recently revisited just to do this episode. And we got a couple fun videos and stuff like that, like usual. And so what's up, Abe?
It's an interesting time because last week was Halloween.
Oh, yeah.
And with the passing of Halloween, we come to the inevitable time of year.
Have mercy. Please, please.
There is no mercy.
Yes, so welcome. It's Christmas time.
What happened to Crazy? Hold on.
Oh,
sorry.
You just kicked me. Last week you make me watch Tartakovsky by myself, and this week you kick me.
You're just here for us to abuse. That's your new role on the show. So,
it's pronounced Trotsky, by the way.
Yeah, Chomsky.
Let's go ahead and say hello to the chat here tonight. We got Betrayed King back with us again. Good to see you, man. We got our old friend D-Wag. Bow. We're going to have to get together and talk to you. We got our Crack Pack Holiday Special coming up soon. It's getting the season. We're going to have to get that together here. I think Felix might be helping us out with that too. He's probably also Felix. Bow, Felix. Yeah, I'm going to be getting a hold of you about some of those videos you sent me. We're going to put those to use here soon. Who else we got? Mo Biggs here to cyberbully me again, probably. Here's a new one, Sulky Ewok. Yub Nub. Chihuahua, man. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Who else we got? Aldous, our good friend Aldous.
The Gutter.
With us.
Every Friday night, the Gutter.
Yep. Kiwi back again. Good to see you.
Yep. She may be my favorite of all of our guests or chat.
You're not supposed to tell them we have favorites. Jeez.
I love you all equally.
That's what you say to all your kids, even though you don't necessarily mean it.
Okay.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, it's all. No one showed up tonight. No one's here.
It's gonna be a great show. We came in all depressed. Steve heard me earlier. He was like, "Why do you sound depressed, Dave?" I didn't know I did. Well, why are we talking about Andor, this show that's been out for some time already? Like, why this show?
Well, there's nothing new this week or this month to talk about, and so we're looking for something to talk about, and this is like the best one, so might as well do it. And watching it again, this is like the 3rd time through now, and I started watching it this morning, and I'm up to like episode 8 already today. Like I can't quit watching this show. It's freaking good, and the more I've watched it, the more I've really come to appreciate it.
Yeah, and I think that all of us, I mean, I know I'm guilty of this. If Steve doesn't enjoy being cyberbullied, why is he making me sit through Andor?
It's pretty good, Mo. Like unironically or whatever. I mean, it's like everybody pretty much agrees uniformly that Rogue One is the best effort that Disney has put out, and this is the same crew, pretty much the same cast, and it's got kind of a slow burn to it, but it's leading up, and it's done right along those lines. It's like an adult drama. It's such a different show and different tone from Ahsoka and the Mando, which are like, comic book, MCU type, whatever. Like this
is a serious show.
It's a very serious show, and they've managed, like, even in the look of it, they've managed to bring like a little bit of the fantastic, fantasy part down to like the kind of look they've kind of got the look. It takes place in between the prequels and the original trilogy, and they've got the look kind of like meshed really good. Like they've got stuff from the prequels, but it looks all battered and whatever, like it's from the original trilogy. And there's no other Star Wars show or anything I've ever seen that makes you actually feel like it's this real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a pretty amazing show. I know that myself coming into it, I really didn't give it a fair shot at the first.
We were all three watching it together in the back room, and I think we kind of went in there like we were just coming off Boba Fett, and we all like we went in there with like a mentality, I think, looking for something to make fun of so we could make YouTube content off of it or whatever. And by like episode 3 or 4, like I couldn't deny, I was like, sorry guys, I'm like, this show's actually good, like
right. And I think part of it comes from like you said, sort of the adult nature of things. It's still Star Wars. Some people say Andor's not Star Wars. I deny that entirely. But the director had said that at certain points he'd forgotten that it was Star Wars. And I think that was important because he was trying to craft a story without being like, oh, and then I got to put a Sarlacc in here. Mm-hmm. Oh, what planet are we on? Okay, we got to make sure we have walkers or something stupid.
Yeah, there's like no member berries throughout this entire show. I mean, there's a few little Easter eggs here, like the Rakatan Empire and the Sky Kyber crystal and things like that. But there's no blatant, like, look at me, remember that. There's no attempt at nostalgia, just maybe besides just like the overall look of the entire production,
They really focus on story, and if it doesn't make the story better, it's not in there.
Yeah, there's no wasted time. We, you guys were here for the first 8 episodes of our show. We wasted a lot of time just watching people cross their arms and sit across from each other and say the same thing over and over again. There's no wasted time in Andor, and it like, look, is it slow? Yeah, it's gonna feel a bit slow, but it guys, you gotta sit through it, man. Come on, unplug for a second. There's no wasted time. Am I the only one that watched the first episode?
It seems exactly like that, and we were like kind of like the same way. And until kind of get into like episode 3 and 4, it starts. You're kind of like questioning it, like, is this any good? And this just seems kind of boring. By the time it gets into like episode 5 and 6, and it just takes off. And after seeing the entire series and going back, the beginning parts don't seem boring at all, because you're looking for information. You already know what's going to happen, and you're kind of seeing what's there. And I think I'm on like my 3rd or 4th viewing now, and it's just like none of it seemed boring at all.
I agree. Like I thought the first 3 episodes were going to be boring.
No, it's good.
I thought the first 3 episodes were going to be boring on this rewatch, and I was like, I'm just kind of strapping in. And the first episode is maybe a tad slow. Like the first 15 minutes, it picks up. Like the first 15 minutes of the episode is like where the hot spot is, and then it kind of slows down a little. But the second episode is it's set up to pick it up in the 3rd episode, where it just takes off in the 3rd episode.
Yeah, and there's a lot of important establishing of relationships in episode 1 as well. And by establishing these relationships with, between Cassian Andor and all the people in his life, you're also world building, like in his little city. You're getting an understanding of how these people operate with each other, which becomes important at the end. That's what we mean by there's no wasted time. Everything has meaning here, and not just like Ahsoka, where it's like, oh look, it's a rip of episode 1. No, it's all like in this show that it has meaning for the purpose of the show. And so, yeah, crazy. You kind of got it right, though. Like the first 15 minutes are kind of the sexy material, where we have casting Andor on Morlana 1, and he's going through like a red light district. Now, Steve, we got something up on the screen here.
This is helpful to the audience and people who know what this means. BBY, Battle Before Yavin. So 5 years before A New Hope, and this sets it all up. But as far as using this as an actual in-universe, hopefully this is just for the audience's benefit here, BBY. To use that in-universe, to me, seems like it would be a very stupid point to base your entire calendar around the destruction of the first Death Star, because that is not really like a historical beginning or end of something that's, you know what I'm saying? It seems like they would, year one or year zero would be found, like the foundation of the Empire or the New Republic or the defeat of the Empire, or, that is a pretty significant event. But they came up with this like in the 90s when they're coming up with the EU, when they just, were coming out with comic books and novels pretty, frequently. And they were just trying to help everybody, keep a timeline. So at the beginning of all the novels and comics, you'd open them up and they'd have the Star Wars timeline like this: ABY after the Battle of Yavin, BBY before, because for all of us, the starting point and the year zero is A New Hope, because that's where we started and whatever. But anyway, that's what that means. If you don't know, everyone probably knew that there.
BK in the chat here says, I remember a slow climb waiting for that heist payoff, but by the end it was epic.
Mm-hmm. Really does. It really does pay off.
I highly suggest going back and rewatching it, because the second watch through, it's faster. I remember the first watch through for me being really slow too, but the second time I'm like, wow, this isn't as slow as I thought it was.
Yeah, we're all in the DM groups together talking about how we're trying not to watch the rest of the show before we go over it. Like me, I had to stop at episode 3 because I can't be thinking about any other episodes here. Steve is already accelerated to the last quarter of this show. It's really good.
I'm halfway through episode 8 just this morning. I've seen them all before, at least twice, and I just started watching it to refresh my memory, and I've had it on all day long.
Oh, welcome, Doc Hayes. New face. I just saw him over on
Hail Doc.
Jeremy's House of the Dragon stream.
Excellent. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, all the people that aren't our good friends already that come here, Jeremy sends them to us. So, hail, Jeremy.
Yes, thank you, Jeremy. I like what Mo Big says here. The heist was stealing many, many hours of your life.
It was only like 40 minutes or something, that episode. This whole show's 12 episodes. So, yeah, they might have got a day or two of my life.
Which is another thing about Andor that I love, is that it's 12 episodes and not this 8 episodes or shortened stuff. Imagine if Ahsoka could give us 12 episodes, the story they could have told.
I mean, really, 12 isn't even that much. The old TV shows would always do 20 or more, So, like 12, I mean, it's like the production, I guess they put more money into fewer episodes and stuff. But I mean, as far as a viewer sitting there and watching it per minutes or whatever, all of these streaming shows are very, very short compared to network, traditional shows. What do we got here? Jabba's baby. What are we talking about?
I don't know. I just know. I don't know.
Oh,
These guys are bad news.
Kiwi and BK are talking about the Clone Wars.
Oh yeah, Jabba did have a baby.
Because Kiwi's working her way through the Clone Wars, but she said she's caught up enough, and I don't know what that means, Kiwi.
Well, when
gave
we
up.
started the show, I don't think she'd even watched like an episode of Clone Wars. So good on you getting into season 4. It only gets better, and then season 7, I would say, is a pretty great finisher.
Yeah, Clone Wars is
Clone Wars
probably the
and
best thing they've ever done outside of the, George Lucas's movies. And I don't know, watching this Andor show is like, I think it might be like the next best thing.
Yeah, I think Clone Wars and Andor is easily the best stuff that Disney's given us.
Most of Andor's budget went into the subliminal messaging that brainwashed people into thinking it's amazing.
It was pretty good, man. It was pretty good.
It is. So Cassian's going.
Sorry, Mo's gonna like watch this, and then he's gonna come back next week and hate us all immensely.
Why? Because it's so great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we're gonna turn Mo. There's no way.
It's great. I don't know, man. You got the crew from Rogue One, who took something that had such great heart and spirit in it, and really tried to like expand on something that, maybe we didn't need to expand on. I think that's where the show benefits from a lot too. Is there's this era that's kind of a silent period, if you imagine, right? Like you've got Anakin in his new robot suit, but the kids aren't grown up, right? So there's no real reason to see Luke and Leia, although Obi-Wan show would have you think otherwise. But like this is a relatively quiet time in Star Wars. There's a lot of room to play with, where you don't necessarily break everybody's toys, right? I don't know.
Well, I mean, you've got Rebels and Bad Batch and a lot of other things that are in between episode 3 and 4, but there's like 20 years there to play with, and a huge galaxy and a lot of different things going on and building up. So they don't really need to cross paths too many. You've got Mon Mothma in the show, and Saul Guerrero, I believe, comes in later. And aside from that, you really don't see too many of the main anybody from any
that's
of those
what's great
stars.
though, is that this deep dives into the birth of the rebellion.
And it's a lot more like regular people that were like, guys with jobs and their friends and guys that hang out within a bar. It's not a knight and a princess and a senator and a
laser swords and wizards.
Yeah, it's all much more grounded down to earth. Now on the screen here, this is like the very, very first scene. And like from this scene and the one right after it, I thought I was watching a Kubrick film. I swear to freaking God, just the way they talk, the way that just they impose those two guys back there, I think were Georgie and Dim, pretty much straight out of Clockwork Orange. And then the very next scene, that old guy was sitting there, their boss, and just the way he was talking about, and something about just the way they pronounce, like everything seems very strict. Like I'm on episode 8, and I was thinking, must be about 7 to 12 times that they've so far in this series that they've said the word, and they say it like this: schedule. You know what I'm saying? Like
it's a very like British thing.
Yeah. And like every character says it that way. And that, and like some of the oppression from when they want you to feel like, you're under the thumb of authority. They show the characters and they're being scolded by their elders, and just the way that it's filmed, you just, I don't know, you can just feel the tension through most of this stuff.
I feel like Mo Biggs is going to make you apologize to Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, dude. Last week it was Kirby, now it's Kubrick. Like we're on a roll, guys.
This is a good show, man. And having someone who, at a point in my life has been like a major, movie nerd. I just recognize a lot of the stuff where they, where they're homaging it or stealing it or whatever. And if you're a filmmaker or a video, TV producer or whatever in 2020, And you're stealing from like Kubrick and Scorsese and at least they're not like trying to rip off Michael Bay or something, come on.
Yeah, thank fucking Christ.
Like good people steal from the masters. There's this one shot. I know we're only talking about episodes 1 through 3, but there's this one shot after the heist where they show Luthen, and I swear to God, it's Henry Hill in the shower going, Jimmy, after the heist. It's like the exact same thing. What, Mo?
He's not happy with that comparison. I don't know.
I'm not saying it's as good. You can see the influence of these guys. You can see that was definitely.
It's like BK says. It's just a bunch of humans subjecting each other to the horrors of life. Sound familiar?
Yeah. Like Kubrick, right?
But we have here Andor opening up in what amounts to a brothel.
He's looking for his sister.
Yeah, he's a Canary man. He was born.
He's not trying to do her.
Yeah, and he's looking for his sister because he heard a rumor, and this hooker is less than enthusiastic about helping him.
Yeah, she's kind of like, the Canary Gold buzzed off, what are you looking for, really? Sends him on his way. Meanwhile, these two dudes are clearly incredibly horny and should not be addressed in any manner. Don't go to a horny place and talk to horny dudes. It's only going to be bad for you. Right? Because that's what happens later on. Andor's leaving.
Look at the windows, like the red light, the hookers in the windows, but they're like bubbles.
I kind of dig that.
And look at this one up here. Look at its leg. Like,
yeah, you're just walking through the red light district down here, man.
Yeah, little bubble windows. I don't know. Maybe they should try that in Holland. But they try to stick him up for some petty cash, 300 credits. But he doesn't even want to take that, So we get a little taste of Cassian's personality because he's willing to headbutt this guy behind him and retrieve the pistol and threaten them both with physical violence to avoid paying 300 credits, which I don't know what that translates to as far as real money, like how much that actually is, but I imagine it's something enough that he'd get physical with them. But then he kills one, and there's a really nice scene where this guy slowly realizes you killed him. Oh my God. And then he realizes, oh wait, if you killed him, you have no reason to let me live because I'll just blab on you. So then he tries to reason his way out, say hey, look, I'll take you to the station. It was an accident. We'll just let it clear up just to kind of set things up to here. This is a corpo planet.
Yeah, these are the local cops, and it's basically.
Yeah, these are basically street cops.
Like old mining towns or whatever. They're company towns. The corporate I think what they call this, the company's called Primo, and they're in charge of several different planets, and they've got their own police, and this is kind of
I believe it all strangles under the ISB though, right?
No, the ISB's like the FBI, or they're more like the CIA basically, and these guys would be akin to some local sheriffs or something. They kind of go into this in the old original EU novels, Han Solo, and they're Han Solo's Revenge, Han Solo at Star's End, and Han Solo in the Lost Legacy. And these came out in 1980s or whatever, and they largely take place in what's called the corporate sector. And it's basically a section of space that has 1,000 something worlds, but there was no intelligent life, so it was just left open, and kind of like the Trade Federation in the prequel era. They've just got full control over this area, and this is kind of the same thing. These are local cops. They're run by corporations that are running mining operations, manufacturing, stuff, where the empire has just made it as easy as possible for these companies to get whatever they need to, basically help manufacture the industrial military complex of the Star Wars galaxy.
Oh, welcome,
Right.
Jeremy.
Crackhead's here. Hell.
He's Jeremy Ison on fire, but he will always be crackhead in our
He's
hearts.
always crackhead to me. Oh.
Thank you so much for coming in. Mo Biggs says that security guard reminds me of last week's episode because he was very cartoonish. I like that security guard. Sad to see him go. Spoiler alert, he gets killed by Cassian, kind of mirroring what we see Andor do in Rogue One, where he realizes
Oh
he's
yeah,
in a
right
tough
at the
situation.
beginning of that. Yeah, I guess they were trying to rhyme with their own movie, and
which is a common theme we see.
I saw very little rhyming in this. There was like one shot of Luthen's not even in these first 3 episodes. Oh no, yeah, he is. He comes in at the end, but it might be in the third. There's this one shot where he's looking out the window that just looks exactly like Palpatine looking out the window on Coruscant in a certain shot.
We have some more people coming in.
Mike is here. Tell us about his great fetish.
Dean, Comics Mate just showed up.
Dean, what's up?
And Mo Big says, slow down, Steve. You've only got 3 episodes to get through, but we're going to run out of adrenaline soon at this pace.
Oh.
That's just running up in his cyberbullying constantly.
It builds character. You need it, Steve. Oh, man. Sorry. Excuse me. Still recovering.
He blasts that second cop right in the face and then takes off because he realizes that if he doesn't get the hell out of there, he's in deep shit.
This isn't the right picture.
That's the other thing. He gets off of that planet, goes to his planet where he lives, which is on Ferrix, which is like a pretty industrial area he lives in. Seems like there's a lot of like ship scrapping that goes on, right? And this is his.
It's kind of like a junkyard flea market world. The one guy says, if you can't find it here, it's not worth finding.
Yes, there's a lot of like parts reselling. We see his old flame later on, and she does a lot of like reselling of parts and such. There
is
that part.
A Mowgli type. When we first were watching it, we were calling him Space Mowgli.
This is fast forward to the part where Andor is pensive. We're getting there as fast as we can. Oh, this is his droid B2EMO.
That droid. The droid has a cool personality and it's a cool character as a droid. The droid is freaking stupid looking, and I've always this is the most bland, stupid looking droid in all of Star Wars. But they make you feel sorry for him the way he acts.
Well, he's just old.
He's got this. His head is copied off of the droid from the black hole.
I like this droid. I found him refreshing because a problem I have in like a lot of new Star Wars is that each time there is a new Star Wars, there's also a new droid that somehow has more that it can do all of a sudden. Like you had R2-D2 and he's like, okay, I can open doors and stuff like that. Then you have BB-8. It's like, I've got a lighter for some reason and I can hotwire
No one even smokes in Star Wars. Like, why do you even have a lighter?
That's a very
Javin's
good
the
point.
only one who ever smoked in all of Star Wars.
Oh, we got Michael T coming in.
Michael T.
Thank you, man.
Welcome, Michael T.
Missed you, man. Good to see you. See, this is the point where I tell you, Crazy, that
the Jungle Book
my
is real.
favorites.
Say what? Say that again, Abe.
Michael T is one of my favorites.
Oh,
Kiwi's
yeah?
Chris, yours. Yeah.
We all know that Mo is Steve's, so we all have like
Not lately, man. All he does is cyberbully me.
I think you enjoy it.
Again, I like this droid just because he's like a downgrade. like an obvious one. He's bad at his job, really. Like he constantly needs charging, like an old iPod, like he just never retains his charge. It's brilliant.
He's
And
like
look,
Eeyore or something. He just rolls around like, I'm sad. He tries to be helpful, but
and even the way he talks, it's so jumbled. My memory banks are not at full capacity. He's real downer. I love it. But look at this. We got Star Wars looking things in a Star Wars show. This is totally Star Wars, guys. Come on. We're really selling this thing. Yes.
So this is a good scene right here where
yeah,
he comes up and he sees his buddy and he's like trying to tell a story. And the guy asks, like, what did you do last night? And he's like, well, I went to your house. And the guy's like, oh. And you see it in his face. Like,
yeah, right there. He asked Andor, he says, Andor asked him, he said, what'd you do last night? And he tells him what he really did. And Andor's like, no, that's not what you did last night. You were with me. We went to the bar, but had no money. So we went back to your house. And then this dude just catches right on. He's like, all right, cool. We're lying to the cops or something. I'm down. He sees the bruise and he says, oh, yeah, you made me mad and I sucked you in the eye. Or whatever. He just plays right along. Like, I got your back. Even though he's semi-skeptical. And then he said, this is like my friend Mike. Like, he'd do something like that for me. And then I'd be walking away like this guy. And I'd say, don't forget about that money you owe me. See what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of stuff in this show that you can relate with your everyday life. If you have a job or a friend or you live on Earth or whatever, yet it's still in Star Wars enough to not, you know what I'm saying? Like, they really have kind of bridged both worlds really.
Yes,
absolutely.
Really good. Because this is Brasso, and everybody's got a homie like Brasso. Somebody who's going to be like, okay, all right, why'd you miss the recital? We saw a cat with a bum leg, and we tried to rush it to the hospital. So, like, there's always somebody looking out, and this is like our first relationship that we see that Cassian has with somebody. It's it's a kind of a nice one. He's got a buddy.
Good friend.
Aldous loves the wall of gloves. Aldous also brought up.
They never really specify what are these people doing. They got gloves. They're pulling on pipes. They've got hoses. They never really say what they're doing, do they?
They're stripping ships. Cruisers. Whatever they can strip to get. Parts, money.
You see Brasso like pulling a bunch of hoses out of a ship. Mm-hmm. So he's scrapping them for parts. Aldous brought up though, Steve, are you ignoring death sticks? Do death sticks require lighters?
I don't know. I don't think they do. I think they're like, I don't know. They're like vapes or something.
Vapes.
Also, Hail Mermaid Messiah came in. Ice Queen has come in.
Mermaid.
Welcome.
What's up, Ice Queen? All the ladies, come check me out.
Missing link. I take great offense to that mermaid. Goodness.
What'd she say?
She said, Lolmo, who's the missing link besides the ape? Oh, my goodness. They're Star Warsing. Aldous says, it says a lot about a society where it exists on the borders of structure, but everyone respects another man's glove ownership. Yes, absolutely. There's not a glove out of place here. Every glove has its hook.
This whole town was kind of like, it's like this small town where they all trust each other. You can leave your gloves hanging there. He even says at one point, he said, when did we start locking the door? This other guy you were talking about yesterday, that guy kind of tries to shake him down. And like you were making the point, like the town. Yeah, this town is like so small town. Everyone knows each other, whatever, that they don't even know how to like shake a guy down at all. Like they
exactly
didn't do it right at all.
Yeah, this guy in front of Andor is pissed because Cassian owes him money. So he basically asks this like shark-looking friend behind him, just stand there menacingly, and I'll ask Andor for money, and then he'll give it over. But that's not how you shake somebody down. And that's
Andor
because
doesn't buy it. He just turns around. He's like, "What are you doing?" And the big guy shrugs. He's like, "He told me, give me $10 to stand here."
exactly, because this is a high trust society. Even though people don't like Andor and they know that he's untrustworthy, a lot of them continue to trust him because it's that small town feel here. Everybody knows each other. That comes into play again at the end of the show. It's yeah, I'm
And even before he goes on the run, he makes sure to come back here and pay out everybody all the money he owed them.
And he rolls his eyes at the big dude standing there. He's like, "Come on, man."
That part was kind of funny. There's not a lot of humor in this show, and when there is, it's not like Jar Jar Binks stepping on a turd or whatever. You know, I mean, it's more derived out of the plot and the situations.
Jar Jar stepping on a turd is really funny, Steve. I'm sorry. So we go to
pretty funny.
So we go back to Morlana 1, the corporate security headquarters, and this is where we meet one of my favorite new characters. I always like the Imperials and these like people. What is Mo saying? Why are you laughing?
I was just laughing because, like, look how much Mo hates Clone Wars cartoons and Andor, and it just like, look how much Mo just must love the three of us. If he comes here week after week after week to tell us how much he hates these shows, he just wants to spend time with us.
We greatly appreciate it.
Thanks for coming, man.
This is where we meet Cyril Karn, played by Cereal,
which will rhyme and come into play later.
Don't get all mushy on us, man. Come on.
We like it when you're mean.
Yeah. But that's pretty gay, Mo.
So Cyril's dedicated to the cause. He's really upset that
This is the dude I was talking about being like, I thought it was like a Kubrick film. Like one of those real slow scenes where the main character is getting chastised by some, you know, parent or admiral or cop or something. Just seemed real.
This dude straight up looks like my old boss, like just fatter. It's kind of funny, but Cyril's like taking this really seriously.
He takes everything super serious.
Yeah, that's a big part of his character. But I mean, like, if we're looking at this universe here, right, created by the show Andor, we've got a character who realizes that two people who are under company employ were killed on duty by some vagabond. What's the appropriate action? Well, it'd be to find that guy. This is very serious, and we can't let it slide.
It's serious, isn't it?
Cyril is like the good bad guy. You know what I mean?
He's
like,
a Boy Scout, and he's been raised in this society, and he's been told what's good, what's patriotic, what's your duty, and he wants very, very much to live up to it. And you know, he can't make his mother proud. She's a character that comes up, and
his mother's so depressing. Oh my god, but she's so cruel.
You see, like, it's not even like he's chosen it, but you can just see the burden. Like, he's been put on. Like, this is how his family operates. You know, they're like, they have a code. You know, they don't embarrass your family, don't dishonor your family. Like some kind of mix of like Japanese with Italian mafia type, you know what I mean? The way that, like, they're in the family. She's like, I'll call uncle and we'll get our favors, and they're all connected through the government and whatever. And his main focus, according to his mother, should be to impress and not embarrass her in front of the family, or, you know. And he's found this other, like, higher calling. Like, he thinks he's actually going to make a difference and be, you know.
Yeah, he's got delusions of grandeur to an extent.
I think he's very anti-hero. Like, he's doing everything for the name of good, but he's doing it for the wrong side, because I don't think he realizes how dirty the Empire is. But in this scene here, like, he's like, if two people are murdered, and we don't do everything we can to find this guy, then I'm not worthy of this uniform. And then his boss is like, ugh.
And his boss is so frustrated, and understandably so, because the Empire is actually sending like representatives to come down to Morlana and basically get their stats, like seeing how many people they're convicting, how many crimes there are in the area, and they're using that to determine whether or not to keep the company in place. So this guy's like, really, double homicide? You want to put that on my plate like the second these people are coming in? No, give them a heroic death, right? They got in the line of fire, whatever. Don't make it something nuts like this. That we can't have that on our plate.
They go into whenever they're dealing with any kind of authoritative power in this show, whether it be these rent-a-cop guys or the larger empire, or whatever, they go into these shots and the environments and whatever, and they're like straight out of like THX 1138 or Gattaca or something, where they're, it's like this perfect, pristine, sterile world that is just super oppressive because like there's no paintings on the wall. There's, everything is just sterile and bleak and perfectly angled. And I don't know, this guy is going through, you can kind of tell right from the get-go. They're setting this guy up. He's obviously, I think, going to end up being a good guy in the end. But they've set him up where you get to see the innards of the empire in the bureaucracy and how it works. And it's greed, corruption, bribery, mixed with complacency and boredom and indifference and self-preservation. I know, but I'm not going to say because I don't want to get, my own ass in trouble with it. So there's like so many problems in the empire, and you get to see, firsthand through this character, which is, I'm pretty sure is going to lead him up to the end where he's going to make a turn and help the rebels, just because he's learning, like what we say, he wants to be a good guy, and he's at some point he's going to find out he isn't, and he's on the wrong team.
I don't know about that, man, because
I'm
by the end of by the end of the season, like he's full on like tied to his Imperial Dom mommy. Like he's all about her, for one thing, and number two, like he's I mean, they just, spoilers, they escape a huge riot on Ferris, right? So he sees like law and order, what in his mind represents law and order, being trampled upon, right? That's what the Empire offers, is order. He likes order, but he likes to kind of fine tailor this order, which is kind of like snuck in with a little line where his boss tells him, like, did you personally tailor your own uniform? It says a lot about this character, right? Because he's like, yeah, I'm going to wear the uniform and I'm going to act in the way that I should in this uniform, but I'm going to do some things. I'm going to cut a few corners to make it fit for me in order to effectively do my job, which is what happens in these 3 episodes, right? He kind of goes off the reservation.
Later on, one of the other things, his mother actually made a comment about his collar, and she says, did you tailor your collar? And he says yes. And she says, what makes you think this world needs individuals, or that, the company's going, what makes you think they're looking to recruit individuals? And she says, things like that say a lot about you. He goes, oh, what does my collar say, mother? And she says, it says, look at me. I need your attention. I have no faith in myself, or something like that.
Wow.
And she just eats him alive,
Just dresses him down.
You can just see why he is the way he is. And a lot of things, he just sits there eating his cereal like, yes, mother.
Mo Big says he tailored his uniform to look more like Star Trek. Continue to
kind of.
And hail Perth Comics.
Oh, Perth, hail.
He said, hail Star Killers. Stop it.
This guy, he's not the Star Killer.
They're all Star Killer.
There is a, later on, I guess I should quit talking about episode 4 through
Then we
6. I
get
shouldn't have watched them all
Bix.
today. But yeah, Bix, okay. It turns out she is his ex-girlfriend. She has a new boyfriend now, though.
Which I love her. She may be the most beautiful girl in a Star Wars show, movie. It doesn't matter.
She's a catch.
The hottest one of all?
Maybe.
Mm.
I mean, if Corey was here, he wouldn't be down with it because she's not green. But
she's too human.
Yes, she's too human. That's right. She's not a shade of green. Yeah, man. But he meets up with Bix, and she's kind of sort of tired of him. She's probably been on enough wild rides that she's like, cool, I need to settle down with the fat beta male, which is what that guy is. Like he's like the new boyfriend from the other guy.
He very much Tim. Is. His name's Tim in
Star Wars, right?
It has two M's.
Welcome.
So, hey, some person.
Perth says hotter than that green ass.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a little. I mean,
it's
up in the air, Perth. Like, I mean, we could do a whole episode on babes in Star Wars.
We might have that on the plate coming up.
But yeah, he's like, what's that Stranger Things? Remember that new boyfriend
I didn't watch that show.
You didn't watch this? Let's not talk about another show then.
I don't watch other shows that much.
Yeah, the beta boyfriend's name is Tim with 2 M's. Look at this guy.
There he is. He kind of looks like my cousin Tim.
He's like that other dude from The Office who's fighting with Jim. And he's constantly he's always looking at he's like, oh, there's my girlfriend and Cassian Andor. Doesn't lead to anything good. This guy in a way is kind of a catalyst for everything else in the show.
He's super jealous boyfriend. And then he's even the one like, so a message goes out because they figure it out, and the cops kind of figure out and get Andor's name and visual appearance, so they go looking for him.
Perth is your endorsement.
We'll do it.
He's like following him around. He thinks that she's cheating on him with Andor, and he's highly suspicious.
Why wouldn't you?
And he just follows him around everywhere, and that gets everybody in trouble coming up. But,
like, why wouldn't you though? Like, it's they meet here in secret, and he's like, "What are you guys talking about?" Nothing. And then she like meets up with them later at a bar in secret.
They're doing all this spy stuff, so yeah, they are like very suspicious.
Let's set this up for him. Andor he knows he's in trouble because he killed 2 cops.
Yep.
So he sets up this deal with Bix, who has this secretive buyer, and who buys just these crazy. And he's got this wild, crazy piece that's like untrackable or something. I don't even know. It's unimportant.
It's like a navigational cube out of an Imperial Star Destroyer that still has the seal uncracked, so it's untraceable, and it's like a super important military component out of a Star Destroyer, and
he's trying to sell this piece to get money to get off planet to lay low.
And she's like, he's had it for a while, and she's like mad because he never told her.
So she's sneaking around town, and her boyfriend's following her because she's sneaking around, but really she's just getting in contact with her secretive buyer to come look at this piece.
Exactly. Yeah. Mo, you're being mean to Shinhati. I don't appreciate it. Not appreciated.
That's mean.
Oh man.
But I do agree with you, Mo, on that.
How dare you? Hold on. I'm about to pull something up for you guys that'll change your minds forever about her.
It totally won't. Like, if it's the picture you showed last night, it's not going to happen.
You bastards. Anyway.
What is?
Okay.
Are you showing something new? What?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm about to. Here, look at this. Look at this, like, adorable person. Come on. Look, she's so happy. She's got her little Lego Star Wars figure. She's like, that's
She
my
hardly looks like
character.
she hardly looks like Smeagol at all.
She looks like she's going to stab you while you're sleeping.
No, she looks like, I don't know. She looks like the proud mother of a 2-year-old who's kind of exhausted and is like, look what I got from my kid. It's me, my character.
She looks like she wants her precious.
Stop it.
Kind of evil. Yeah.
She looks very evil. Gosh,
Mo,
no,
great minds, dude. Great minds.
This photo does look like it was taken like in the 80s at Christmas. Like, I don't know why the quality of this, like, where does she live? Why is the photo so bad?
It's Polaroids, man.
Seriously. We got Ray Haylock in the chat. Welcome.
What's up, Ray?
Perth says he would play with her blocks. See? Perth gets it.
Shit.
Anyway.
Let's, since Mo, hates everything, we made something especially for Mo just because he hates all the shows. So we made one just for him. Coming soon from the Ewoks.
Candy floss. I love candy floss, Wicket.
You guys need a lightning rod. Yeah. Take this one. You're going to need it.
That should take me to Carnal, Wicket.
I hope they have a merry-go-round. Boom!
Oh!
It's her turn. Your wish comes with a price.
Something wicked this way comes.
It's our goal to each week to be a little bit more retarded than the week before with our Ewok features. So
something wicked this way comes, though.
Is that too obscure? Does anybody even know what the fuck is going on?
I don't like all the testicular imagery, like the weird, like, plant testicles that they're pulling from the trees, and then the two moons coming together like two balls.
It might be in the eye of the beholder. It might, it's like those ink splotch tests or whatever. Abe, if that's what you're seeing, I don't know.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know. I feel like the animators were experiencing a lot of testicular torsion and were taking it out on the cartoon.
It could be.
Sounds like it's a hit, though. Mermaid Messiah says, I love balls.
Cool.
Oh, shit.
We may have just killed Abe.
All right, back to this show.
Back to Jealous Boyfriend. Hello?
You okay, Abe? Abe might be having a...
Sorry, I had a slight attack. Oh, my God. I'm not good still. Bring up the slides.
Yeah, put something on the screen I can show.
Back to
you don't see the slides?
Back
Hold
to
on.
folder
Got
6.
this one.
There we go. You're good.
Mowgli. Okay, you can just go. Okay, yeah, Mowgli. Now, apparently, they live on this planet that suffered an imperial mining disaster and is now uninhabitable, and everyone left, and they don't really tell you how these kids got here specifically. Either they're leftovers from the all the people that were here that died, or they're from a ship that's crashed here since, and all the adults have died off, because they do show another ship crash here in a little while. Basically, it's the Lord of the Flies, or the kids from Mad Max 3, who were based on Lord of the Flies, and they're out here in the woods with no parental supervision, and they howl and make weird noises and stuff. And this little one right here on the right of the screen with the yellowish shirt on, that is Andor when he's a kid.
Young Casa is what
They call
they
him
call
Casa, yeah.
Casa. Yeah, what the hell is up with all these unsupervised kids just running around? Like all the adults died, like some sort of Children of the Corn scenario, and they're just hanging out.
It's like some kind of Hollywood writer fantasy to have no adults around, I guess.
Oh, Jesus.
not in, you know.
Those kids in Mad Max 3 are the worst part.
They don't give you much of these scenes though. Like they give you like a small little version, and then it's back to the story.
Yeah, the way they show this at first does lead to like if you've not seen it before, it seems like they keep just showing random stuff, because it cuts from one back to the other, and they got like 3 or 4, 5 different plot lines going on all at once. And some episodes they show you very, very little of certain ones, and then other ones, focus full on each one. But when they do all finally come together, it's good. There's really good payoff in this show for all the moments that seem slow or unimportant.
I would still say that these scenes on Canary with the kids are probably some of my least favorite. Like there are some important moments, but I don't know. It's again, nothing's unimportant in the show, but it's like there's a lot that gets explained away, like in episode 2 towards the end in about 2 or 3 sentences. It's like, oh, that's what all that means. And I don't know. I guess it, like, these scenes inform how Cassian feels about a lot of things, but these kind of drag for me. But
they drag for me too. But like, it's important. It all explains away up until the point where Marva takes him,
and there wasn't a whole lot of it.
That's a super slow build too. All these young Andor is a super slow build, and I believe it doesn't come to fruition until the 3rd episode. So you see all these cutbacks. There's probably 4 or 5 cutbacks to the young Mowgli here.
Well, if I was writing a Star Wars story under Disney in this day and age, and I had a cool character I made up or whatever, I would probably, if given 12 episodes, I would probably want to like chart as much of this guy's backstory down as I could before they let some freaking retarded Marvel Comics author do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But then we get out of this stuff and we get back to the main story, where the jealous boyfriend, the report comes in to Ferrex that they're looking for Cassian Andor.
That's in a little bit. We still have Cyril here trying to what he's looking at is an image of Cassian's ship leaving. And again, you can see everybody around him is pretty apathetic to the whole thing. Like the guy whose job it is to look at these things and check the manifest and everything is like, oh, they've got no manifest and there was no like serial or whatever. So they just came in, they came out. We didn't even pay attention.
And
he's like, this doesn't matter to you.
He didn't want to. He was like, find that ship. And he was like, but sir, we'll have to track every. It was a big job or something. He didn't want to do it. And Cyril was like, I'll find someone else who can or something. And they were looking at him like he's crazy. Like this guy is making him do extreme amounts of tracking every single ship, spending 10, 12 hours of overtime to get this thing. And they all think he's crazy and he's completely pissed at all of them just because they don't care. He's like, why don't you care that our coworker was murdered, and they're all just like, I just want to get my check and go home.
Mm-hmm. There's even a line like from those group of guys around the computers where they say like, well, so long as he's approving overtime, I'm okay. It's like, yeah, but what if the people above him reject the overtime? So they're just in it for the paycheck. Like it is kind of it's hard to say it's shocking because I work with people too.
This is like the
But like,
exact real world. That's what I'm saying. Like some of this show gets so real and away from the fantasy of Star Wars that you're like, oh, that reminds me of what happened in my life yesterday or whatever.
right, exactly. This is just some shots of Bix climbing up to this like little satellite tower where she actually gets in contact with her contact, who's going to pick up that Imperial piece that Cassian has. That turns out to be Luthen later on.
Whenever, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say I think that's the episode of End of One. Wow, goodness, I am retarded tonight. It's the end of episode 1.
Whenever in this show that they try to like kind of replicate the look of original trilogy technology or something, it all ends up like they have 1970s freaking Ataris and TV remote controls and stuff. Like some of the some of the stuff I was criticizing about this show early on is just like some of the tech, like that thing he has later on looks like a Polaroid camera. It's supposed to be the Star Navigator or something, and all that droid is a box with wheels, and like I don't know. That's one of my things I could nitpick on this show. Is it looks cool and it looks lived in, but a lot of the stuff you just look at it and you're like, that looks like a Atari 2600 or something. Like, you know, you like they actually look like recognizable things that have been repurposed into something else.
Yeah, in some ways it kind of looks like, it kind of reminds me a bit of like Alien, where everybody's like running these starships operating on like DOS. You know?
yeah.
It's kind of cool. These are some of the like employees we were talking about, guys eating blue noodles. I guess the Star Wars thing is just to take food and make it blue.
Yeah, blue is good, red is evil.
And then here's another character who comes into contact with Cassian Andor. He's in charge of the shipyard, where I guess just have a bunch of ships. And he's pretty well aware that like Cassian took the ship last night. And this guy's probably the cartooniest dude in the whole show, I gotta say. Got a little bit, but he's just like flapping his arms around like, I can't let you take these ships anymore. You know. But
like, you gotta get out. Don't come back. Quit taking my shit. But they're all like, it shows you like they all doing favors. He's got a lot of friends. He's charmed a lot of people or paid him or whatever. But he also owes a lot of favors out. And
yeah, he's in the hole to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Gets in a lot of people's holes. Very nice. This is his sister. So this is who he's looking for this whole time. I mean, I think we can assume that he's been separated from her since this point, right?
Say what now? I was reading that chat. But
we can assume that this is the last time he saw her, basically.
Oh yeah.
Because
it definitely was, because on that mission that they went on to look at this down ship is when he enters later on. And then while he's on there, he doesn't understand any of the technology in there. And then Marva comes in to grab stuff and then takes him with him.
And this is a shot of like the mining area. So this planet's been worked on quite a bit. We can assume again that, you know, all the adults have probably been excommunicated or killed. Well, more than likely killed or enslaved. Well, no, they only enslave Wookiees. I don't know.
No, they enslave anyone.
This dude, one of my favorite new Star Wars characters.
The bell ringer?
The morning bell dude. I love this guy. His outfit, his composure. Look at this.
He's the John Williams of his era.
All this guy's story is right now is he rings the bell. That's it.
My host says, yeah, this is like playing Star Wars RPG with PTP as the DM.
Oh, I don't know if I want to see the letters PTP and Dungeon Master together. Puts thoughts in my head. But anyway. Oh my gosh. I deserve that. Come back to Bix. She sees this warning coming in, like you were mentioning earlier, Crazy Mad, looking for a Canary male with dark features.
Oh yeah, they found who he is. Look, and here's Tim.
Her boyfriend realizes that she's being sneaky about this, so as soon as he comes in, she kind of shuts it off and is like, blah, 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 but he sees through it right away. And then she says that she has to go run some errands, and he immediately goes in and checks out what she was looking at.
Right. And there are only so many people that know that Andor's from Canary, because like on paper, it's written that he was born on Ferrix. Apparently Tim was told, I don't know how you trust this guy, Tim. I looked up his name. It's Tim with 2 M's. You can't trust an individual like that. That's a weird way to spell Tim. Anyway, but he sees them at the bar, so I kind of get his suspicions. I mean, like, look at this. They're like really close to each other. They're holding hands. They don't look like they're having a great time, but that's no bueno.
And I don't think they are having a great time. They're like in the mid-argument, right? Like, because he didn't tell her about the piece that he had, and she's kind of pissed. And
right, and I think he's kind of almost trying to back out of like getting in contact with her contact, but she's saying no, he's already on his way. There's no getting back out. And this is what is happening.
The extra M in Tim stands for mundane.
Oof. Oh, Tim has a sad fate, though. He does.
So they find him. They put a warrant out for him, and this dude.
The boyfriend calls it in. He straight up calls it in.
Right, and again, these apathetic like 9 to 5 mall cops are like, it says Ferrix, so he's probably just joshing. But Cyril is on top of it, man. He's about to like unravel all of the secrets of the Rebel Alliance himself, starting with Andor. He's like, no, we got to trust this. We got to trust this call coming in.
But in the background, you see the hooker that Andor was talking to that night. She walks in to where you know that it's confirmed that, yeah, this is the dude I was talking to.
Her.
That lady.
I don't know if she's a hooker. She was more like the madam, I think, wasn't she?
Whatever.
Yeah, it don't matter. She didn't.
They're all hookers, dude.
We're going to get really technical about the whorehouses right
now. It is important to the plot later on.
Yeah, and then there's some sexy time. She comes back home to Tim, and he's like, nah, and she's like, yeah? He's like, yeah. And why wouldn't you? And then we get this guy, another one of my favorite characters. Holy cow.
This guy's like Chris Farley or something. He comes in, he's just like totally retarded over the top or whatever, but
it's so great. I love it.
He has kind of the same ideals as Cyril does. Like, he's all about the company, and he's all about doing the job. I don't think he knows that Cyril is actually going behind their backs at this point.
No, he doesn't. He explicitly states, like, but they're going back and forth, and he's saying, the killing of 2 officers and incorrigible. And any other response would be,
he talks like that.
Any other response would be unacceptable. It's great to see that High Command has issued this order. And he's like, and Cyril's like, yeah, sure, High Command, they did that. No, this guy, his name is Sergeant Linus, which, of course, name him after a Peanut character. Like, Sergeant Linus, he shows up and he's bought into it totally. He's on the same level with Cyril, if not a bit more intense. And it's funny, but again, kind of real. There are people in every position, in every job across the world who take their jobs. There are people stocking shelves at Target right now who are like, all these cans of soup need to face the front. We need to bring the soup from the back forward because the sell by date it's coming down the wire, and we can't have bad soup. We are trying to make Target better. There are people like that in every walk of life. So I really appreciate this character. He was super entertaining. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I love this guy. Like he's
funny, but he's not trying to be. He's an ass kiss, but
his
I
men,
think he believes it.
His men take him seriously though. Like whereas you see when Cyril starts to give the speech to the men, that they don't take him seriously at all.
That's true. There's a scene where they're like in
his speech was weak.
In the hangar of their ship, and they're just kind of debriefing, and Linus is just full of spit and vinegar, and Cyril's got none of that. He's like a very smart newt. Like you know, like he does his job and he does it well, but you're not gonna like, I don't know,
hang out with him afterwards at the bar.
No,
Well,
you're not gonna find him like inspiring.
And after Cyril flops on his speech, like he's that ass kiss guy who's behind him, and all the soldiers are just like rolling their eyes and like, oh my god, this guy. And then Linus here is like,
well done, sir.
Yeah.
Well done.
Very well said.
That part was funny.
But that's later on. So this is what
That's the
Cassian
boss
has.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah. Steve, what the hell does this do?
I forget. It's some kind of like navigation. I think it's out of the hyperspace core, out of the navigational computer of a Star Destroyer or something. He said something like if they had it, they could track all Imperial movement for 9 parsecs every direction or something like that. I forget. And he said once the seal is opened, it will lose its value. And the Imperial seal, I forget exactly what it is. I've only watched this show 3 times. That wasn't enough to remember, like, you know, like every specific detail of every bit of technology and how it works and whatever. There's a lot to take in this show. And I do know it was a very, very, it would have been very good for the rebellion to have this. And it would have been very bad for the Empire for them to have it. And it was worth a lot of money.
I thought Arc 1 was a great example of recruitment and putting together early rebel groups and a relevant story to tell given the era.
Yeah.
Yeah, well said.
And I agree. I agree with him.
How do you recruit rebels? It's not like there's a sign-up sheet, like one of those like tearaway things like babysitter needed, we'll pay cash, you know. It's found through all of these dealings. Find people when they're desperate, right? Like Cassian Andor. In a way, Cassian Andor would have never been a rebel if it weren't for Tim basically putting the squeeze on him, because otherwise he would have just given Luthen this piece. Cyril is the Newt Gingrich of Star Wars. Perth says saving Newt was pointless, dead straight after the credits. I'm right with you there, Perth. And there were a lot of drafts for Alien 3 that had Newt still alive, along with gosh, his name's blanking on me, but no,
Mostly
Alien 3
they
was
come at night. Mostly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, I don't know.
I got a case of new action figures that's unopened back here. We'll see it. It's not very interesting.
Dude, bring it up. You got Newt? All right, this is an Aliens show now. Forget Andor. Ray Haylock says, I was half expecting this character to spit when he talks. Yeah, he kind of has that fervor, Sergeant Linus.
Yeah, I bought these like on some kind of clearance sale, and I got a bunch of aliens.
We can't see you, Steve.
Well, I know I haven't put my screen up here yet.
Mo says this show had a character named Newt, which Steve is completely accurate when he says it's as action-packed as aliens.
Bishop. And
is he cut in half?
Yeah, these are currently going on eBay for like $8 a piece. If you're interested, they retail about $18. These are the leftovers. Like they had them on clearance with a bunch of aliens, like the alien figures, and I got all the aliens. and I sold them on eBay. And basically,
It was
I've
like
got all these. I've made profit, and I got all these sitting around for free. Look, now I haven't even opened these. I got six Newts and six Ripley. Yeah, here, let's open one. Check them out.
Dude, absolutely. This is what, like one of those Entertainment Earth like grab bags, right?
Yeah, it was. It was like super cheap for.
That's brilliant. Steve, you're gatekeeping mermaid messiah. She has a lot to say about you.
She likes Alien.
Alien's sweet.
Kiwi loves Aliens too.
Newt.
Yeah, Aliens is probably my favorite franchise. I love
Mostly
Aliens.
they come at night. And I got Ripley too.
Let's see Ripley. Let's see her.
If you want to buy any of these, go to my eBay store. I'll list these on there.
Felix also have that link in no time.
Yeah.
The Link Master.
Link your eBay.
Oh, am I supposed to like show it on screen so you can see the official unboxing?
Here we go.
Discount items.
Oh, with the suspenders.
She looks like a dude.
She does look like a dude there. Hey, JB, Jeremy
Don't
Bird.
say that about Sigourney Weaver.
JB, I voted for you in that contest, JB. That was a cool picture you had.
The Bancroft art?
Yeah.
What a contest, man. A lot of cool stuff.
Hey, we've been here like an hour and 20 minutes, and we hadn't even, this ain't a good segue, but we hadn't even shown any of our videos yet.
We did one. We did Something Wicked This Way Comes.
Let's do this one. We got important. Do you know how I became the most... What happened? Oh, crap. I'm not doing this very good tonight. All right, here we go. Hey, Grogu. Do you know how I became the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth? No. It's because I like Star Wars since I was a little kid. Did you know that me and you are the same age?
They're 50 years old.
Steve is a world-famous Star Wars collector and toy dealer. You may remember him from Trader's World Flea Market or seen rare items from his collection in the famous book Tom Art's Guide to Worldwide Star Wars Collectibles, second edition. Here he is, Steve, that Star Wars boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth.
Hello, and welcome to another exciting and informative episode of Ask Steve, That Star Wars Boy, starring me, Steve, That Star Wars Boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth, where real Star Wars fans like you ask me, Steve, That Star Wars Boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth, real Star Wars questions. So let's get started. First up today, at Loth Sloth Cloth Moth asks, Dear Steve, so that girl Bix, did Cassian hit that or nah? Well, at Loth Sloth Cloth Moth, hitting women is not a socially acceptable behavior or a very nice thing to do. But perhaps you are using a slang colloquialism insinuating sexual intercourse. Well, at Loth Sloth Cloth Moth, intimate relationships can be a very personal, private occurrence, and it is not polite to ask things like that. Next up, Drac AR-15 writes, Dear Steve, why are there so few proficient Force adepts outside of the duopoly of the Jedi Sith in the Star Wars universe? Well, Drac AR-15, that is a good question. Outside of the Jedi, there are many different Force sects, including the Dagoyan Order, the Night Sisters, the Masters of Teräs Käsi, the Guardians of the Wills, and many others. But the most badass Force user in all of Star Wars is the Broom Boy. You will want to watch his career with great interest. Finally, Hostman Socrates asks, Dear Steve, how much fake rain did they need for the beginning of Andor? That is a good question, Hostman Socrates. Not that much, because it's fake. It's fake rain. It's real skinny. I hope these answers have enlightened and expanded your understanding of the Star Wars galaxy and the intricacies of its complex inner workings. Thanks for joining me today on Ask Steve, That Star Wars Boy, starring me, Steve, That Star Wars Boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth, where real Star Wars fans like you ask me, Steve, That Star Wars Boy, the most knowledgeable Star Wars expert on all of the Earth, real Star Wars questions. See you next time. Send your real Star Wars questions to me, Steve, that Star Wars Boy. And if I answer your question live on the show, you will receive a free 2024 Steve, that Star Wars Boy calendar PDF file.
Steve. Why don't you just go be with your best friend, Steve?
I love the rain question, man. And you're muted,
Exactly,
Steve.
No, don't tell him. Just goes round and round exactly. That was my thought too.
Yeah. It was wonderful, Steve. There you go.
How did I get muted? What happened? How did you mute me?
I mute you? What? You're gonna blame me?
Oh, and also, since I watched through to episode 8 almost today, I got a better, more accurate answer to your actual question. That's not as funny, but yeah, that chick Bix is like that one dude that we were showing Tim is jealous and acting jealous and following him around, but it's later on revealed that they were together before that and that they were exes. And so them creeping around all like that, he did have a good reason to be suspicious. He wasn't crazy or whatever.
He was totally justified. Now calling the cops on a dude because you're
that's not cool.
No,
don't call the
You
cops.
should never call the cops on.
And he got that's a true
Ever.
lesson. That's a true lesson. He called the cops and they came, and look what happened.
Well, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we should look at what happened.
Well, I got like too many windows open down here.
Where are we at? We're in episode 2, aren't we?
Are we sequential?
Mobix has found out our secret.
What?
There are no other streams right now.
Yeah, you come
That's
to
right.
watch
No,
us because we're the only show in town.
Exactly. That's why we picked this time slot. You got nothing else to do.
You think 1 a.m. is like a time slot we chose because what are you saying, man? A little trivia. Did you guys know that mostly they come at night? Mostly scene was done in only one take. I guess it's more of an assumption on my part than official trivia. Yeah. Sometimes
You know that
can
scene?
just tell.
That scene in Alien Resurrection where Sigourney Weaver throws the basketball backwards and it's nothing but net. That was one take, apparently. Everybody's like, who is this woman? It's the best part of a really bad movie.
Welcome, JD Kirby.
Hey, JD, what's up? Welcome to our show.
No snitches. That's absolutely right. So this is our first shot of Luthen in his ship that is just ungodly. I don't know what he's done to this ship.
Yeah, it's like super high tech, even for Star Wars. Everyone who rides on it is amazed. Where'd you get this ship? How did it do that?
Yeah. It's like the one time where it was like kind of taken out. But this dude's a class act. I'm forgetting his name right now.
Skarsgård.
Stellan Skarsgård.
This dude is the best. Dude, the best, most interesting character on the show, in my opinion. I'm like totally curious if they ever finish season 2. What I want to find out, where they left me hanging, what I'm wondering about is who is this guy? What's he doing? Where did he get that ship? You know what I mean?
Right. Who chose that wig for him? Because it's awful. Later on, we'll see. But yeah, he's a really, really interesting character because he's
Broom Boy is Star Killer. Fuck.
Oh my God, you're
that
right.
explains so fucking much. My mind is blown. Oh
Holy crap, you're right. Like, how else could you pick up a broom using the Force without training if you weren't Star Killer? Holy crap. Oh my gosh. I buy that theory. I'm actually okay with that.
I love, it's my favorite thing in the world to give a shit about who Star Killer is.
Star Killer isn't anybody. He's literally nothing. Not anything in this universe.
We're all Star Killer. I am Star Killer.
My second favorite thing is bringing balance to the Force by throwing an old guy down a fucking tube.
One time I say that.
It works.
Just a little offhand remark. Oh, but yeah, this guy's a class act. He's got a lot of credits to his name. Brilliant actor.
You're number 2. We don't make fun of people's number 2s. It's because we're more highbrow. We don't do toilet humor.
Yeah, we're above dick and fart jokes.
We've covered. We're into episode 3, Mo. You're doing okay. Oh man. This Jeremy Burt says this Ahsoka? No. Not Jay Bird's. This is Andor. This came out before Ahsoka. Now look, I know you watched us. You watched us on stream over like a series of 8 streams, slowly like lose our minds as how Ahsoka just started to get worse and worse. Andor is not that.
It's the opposite.
It's the opposite. Better.
Andor is fantastic, and I suggest everyone go watch it. But
I'm telling you guys,
it didn't have the stink of made by Disney on it, and this just came out, people would be probably going crazy for it.
I know I'm screaming into the void when yelling that, but
look, here's how you know. The people who just don't like Disney Star Wars because they just want to not like Disney Star Wars, they talk about Ahsoka and how bad it is. Deserved. They talk about Boba Fett and Obi-Wan. Absolutely deserved. They come to this show and what do they say? I've heard good things, but it's kind of boring.
I haven't seen it. Yeah, I tuned out a little bit early. I haven't watched the whole thing. Some people say it's good. I'll just have to take their word for it. Didn't really seem to be my thing. That's what they say. Because there's a couple things you could go in here and make fun of, but you'd run out of material pretty quick because it's mostly cool.
Yeah, Andor is the least bitched about show on the YouTube hater channel.
Give it a chance. You might like it. You won't know.
Because there's really not much to complain about here. It's pretty good.
Yeah, Sulky brings up a good point. Luthen's associations in the show in combination, when he later states how long he's been doing this, his skill set, gear, and where he's based all seem like hints as to his background. Hopefully, yeah.
Go ahead. My bad.
Nah, I got nothing. You're good.
Sorry, man. Every time I see Luthen, like the only other character in Star Wars, the one that he's most familiar to and similar to, and that he reminds me of, is every time Luthen is there, I think of Art Carney from the holiday special as John Dan running his shop. And when people come in his shop and the way he's showing them all his crazy items, it's like, that's where my mind goes. But he's way cooler.
That's not what you guys said about Ahsoka. You guys acted like it was awesome until you finally gave up and admitted I was right, and it sucked by the finale. No. The first 2 episodes were solid openers. 3 was a sleeper. 4 was cool. 5
I liked the ancient aliens and certain other things, but I don't know.
Yeah, I thought Ahsoka had some good points, but it ultimately fell flat.
I thought it was what did I gave it, like a B or something, I think.
Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 5 being average.
I'm gonna mute you if you start going into that fucking scale again.
So we're back on Canary here, and they find the Simpsons stranded all over the place. What happened to these people?
I know they're all yellow, like some kind of chemical warfare or
They
something.
could be aliens. I mean, they got gas masks on, so it had to go deeper than that.
I think they put the gas masks on to try not to die from this whatever, but it didn't work, and they're dead, and they're all yellow.
Well, they
And
could have just died from the crash too, because this ship crash landed.
Yeah, I think they crashed because everyone inside was dead or dying from this disease, maybe. But yeah, they don't really say. But look at all that yellow. There's like yellow smoke coming up off the ground and yellow puddles, and all the guys are all yellow.
What's that logo on his sleeve there?
That is the Confederacy of Independent Star Systems. Confederacy of Independent Systems from the Clone Wars.
Perth says liver failure, which he is right.
You do get jaundice from that.
Jaundice.
Yeah.
Dude, they were just alcoholics. That's why they crashed.
Space jaundice. Holy shit.
Space jaundice.
It's real.
Yeah, so we got this girl kind of poking around. I don't know, who is this lady? Was she just somebody that Cassian liked?
She's the Lord of the Flies. Like she's like in charge of this child tribe on Canary.
Her name was
she had the conch?
Savannah when she was in Mad Max. But she's basically the same character, the older chick that takes care of the tribe of lost kids.
Well, she gets shot by a dude. So
yeah.
Bye-bye.
But like if you look at how old Andor is there, and you look at that ship and the insignias on it, and then later on when Marva comes and saves him, she says there's a Republic cruiser on the way, not an Imperial cruiser. So that sets, I mean, if you do math, you can pretty much figure it out by approximating these children's age and then Andor's age. But this is pretty much sometime during the Clone Wars when this takes place. And so here's a Confederate ship crashed and a Republic ship on the way. So what's going on? There's some kind of battle.
Mo's solved it. It's a weeb colony. They all have yellow fever.
Yellow.
Oh, so this is who's this guy again? He works.
He just works at the shipping yard, or he was going to get him a plane ticket off the planet, but they had some kind of skim job going where he would Andor would bring him the stuff that they were selling, and he would leave it somewhere for him to get picked up or whatever. He was in on one of their illegal operations a little bit.
Right. And like Cassian was telling him like how much to get on a ship discreetly. Right. He's like, okay, 900 Keshels. He's like, how about 5? Okay, cool, 7.
He's like, yeah, if you want it fast and discreet, that's extra. That's an expensive combination.
Right. And meanwhile, he's bringing up Canary because this yellow thing behind him is like, I know Canary. I know all about it. He's like, no, you never heard about Canary. Because this is how I think Cassian becomes aware of like the APB on him, right? This warrant out for his arrest.
But he doesn't even know that Andor is from Canary, so he's not aware that they're after Andor specifically.
Who are you talking about, Salky?
I feel like he may have been ex-Republic Judicial or Intelligence. I think Luthen is what he's talking about. And a field operative.
Okay, yeah, that's who we were wondering.
That would make a lot of sense. Intelligence would make sense because, like the actor Skarsgård, he uses his voice in so many different ways where he can be sort of soft and appealing as a shopkeeper, like, oh, welcome to my boutique shop. Let me take you to the back. And then he can be sort of like demure.
And some of those objects in his store would even hint towards Jedi or Sith connections. There's one that looks like a Sith holocron, but it's bigger, some kind of Sith pyramid. And then he's got that Kyber, the blue sky Kyber crystal. And then his ship at the end, we shouldn't even spoil it, but at the very, very, very end of the series, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
He's got this ship on his boat. He's got this ship and these big laser blades come out like a lightsaber. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they spin around and just take out everything around him. Like there's it was an Imperial like cruiser that was tracking him, and they're like, "Pull over, old man," and he just, I don't know.
And one other thing I picked up, I watched a little bit deeper in than we were supposed to, but there at some point they're talking about he fought in the Battle of Mimbam when he was 16, and he joined the Imperial Army or something when he was 13 years old.
I don't know. I didn't get that far.
Yeah, like
we're only supposed to watch 3 episodes.
Yeah, but they just skim over that, and it's like, so he's got this whole other chapter of his story between Mowgli and what we're seeing here, where he was in the Imperial Army or something. I didn't remember that like from my first 2 watches, but when I was watching, I was like, what?
Oh wow.
It's part when Luthen is telling him how much he knows about him. You know, he's like, I know all about you. And he, you know, he's trying to freak him out, like how much he knows about him. And he says all that stuff.
That's a great scene too, because Luthen's talking Andor off the edge because he's a cornered rat at that point.
He's got the gun to his head or whatever. And he's just like, do you want to live? Come with me. Like the Terminator.
You disappointed Mo. He says, did Steve just throw out a spoiler? Damn.
I did.
Now I can never watch Andor. We ruined it for Mo.
You don't have to watch it, Mo. We'll just tell you everything that happens right here on our show.
I disagree, Mo. You have to watch it.
You should watch it, though. You might enjoy it. It's a good show.
It's really good, man. I'm telling you. It's... give it a chance.
I'll just put, like, if you got 3 hours to waste sitting here watching our show, you should. you got the time, man. Go check it out.
Yeah, you know what? Just as you're watching Andor, just replay one of our streams, and whenever you're like, I'm tuning out, just tune up the volume on our show.
But don't watch our show at the same time you're watching Andor. We want your full attention.
Yeah, you do need to pay attention
to us. So this is like where Sergeant Linus is giving the speech, and he's like, "I'm gonna turn it over to you, sir." And Cyril's
he comes up and he gives this. He's like, justice and stuff.
Oh, it's so milquetoast.
Terrible, yeah.
Dude, it's so cringy. It's wonderful. But look at the way these guys are dressed. Like, why is it entirely cloth except for like their shoulders?
They look the best been security guards, kind of, but
that's security. Like, these guys are
that's really all they are. They're like cops, but they're not like, you know.
They don't even have like helmets. These guys are so ill prepared for the situation. It's hilarious.
Yeah, they're not armored at all or anything. They're just street clothing it.
Oh, I mean, they're just basic street cops or whatever, going after a dude who they think, you know, is a street thug who pulled a murder, you know, whatever. They're not thinking that they're going up against, you know, an army or what, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, they effectively think they're trying to like get a crackhead.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of us. We should be pretty easy to arrest. But they're running into something really bad, largely in part of what, you know, because of Luthen coming in.
Oh, this is the part where I was talking about earlier. They cut to this scene and they've got Luthen's face is on the right side of the screen, looking at this window, and it almost rhymes exactly with one of the shots of Palpatine, I believe in episode 1, where he's just like gazing out his window.
That's very interesting because Luthen is kind of operating from the showers, the shadows, and orchestrating things in a sort of Palpatine-like manner, except for good, but also doing it in a nasty way.
There's very little like obvious visual rhyming and stuff, like where we can point out, like in some of the other shows, like, oh, they copied this straight out of episode 2 or 4 or whatever, trying to emulate this or whatever. But this one has very, very little of that. It's more like certain characters mirror other characters, but are shown a flip or an invert or a different point of view on the same philosophy or something like that. There's different things like that, but that one really stood out to me just because there were so few of them. It's like, that looks exactly like that shot of Palpatine.
And you think it was intentional?
I don't know. I'm saying like it could just be like what you're saying. Like, yeah, he has a bigger mission. He wants to change the galaxy from the underground, from behind the scenes. One day, will he make himself known? Or could it be like he's evil like him? Or could it be he has the Force, or he's connected, or, any number of things? We'll have to wait and find out. Or did it just look cool? Who knows?
Yeah, that's a good point. Could just be rule of cool. Ray says, anyone else here drunk, or is it just me? LOL. I hope it's not just you. We highly recommend that you drink before you watch the show.
Our show's a little better sometimes if you drink or smoke a bunch of weed or something.
All right.
See, look, he's yellow. He's dead.
He's yellow. He's done for. Yeah, and this
he's
is,
like,
I imagine,
him.
move. I imagine this is, to me, when he did this, it seems like he's seeing himself for like the first time.
Like they don't have a mirror. He doesn't know what his own reflection looks like. You'd think they would see him. They've got like a little lake right there where they live. But
who knows?
Space
he goes on a smashing spree after this, though.
Yeah, he doesn't like the way he looks or something. Is this piece of a Republic gunship or what? What is that?
I was wondering that from like the coloration over there on the top.
Yeah, the shape seems a little wrong, but it looks like definitely some kind of Republic.
This is where Brasso's working, Andor's friend, and he sees the corpos come in. And again, Brasso, true homie, he's going to help his friend Andor in a little way there. This is the shuttle that they make people pay for to get into Ferrix. Kind of neat looking. It reminds me of like a, those trolleys over in like San Francisco.
Yeah, it's from space, San Francisco.
You don't want to go there.
Poop all over the streets, everywhere.
Dude, I was in San Francisco like months ago. That place is worse than you've heard. Trust me. Been there a few times. It is getting bad. Anyway, enough about San Francisco and space San Francisco. Luthen touches down and tries to get as far away from this mustache, dude, as he can.
Poor Styles. There's a lot of originality here, but there's also a lot of like, in a lot of these new Star Wars, there is like a lot of unoriginality where they kind of like every scene reminds you of something else you've already seen. Not all the same things, but they're like they take pieces from everywhere, and this one does it pretty well though. Like a lot of times I can recognize specifically what I think they're copying or homaging, and I'm sitting there like, wow, they're doing a great job of if that's what they're trying to do, like.
Excuse me. Oh crap.
This guy here was like the annoying dude that always just wants to talk to you in public. If you go down to Florida, like everybody is either a tourist or they've moved down there and don't have any friends. So like if you're in public at a restaurant or anywhere, everybody just talks to you like they've known you forever. You'll just be standing there in the crowd in Florida and people just walk up to you and just start talking to you like like they know you really well. And that was this guy. He's all like asking him questions. What do you work? What do you like? He wants to be like, we're going to know each other for the next 2.5 minutes. Let's become best friends. Luthen's over here like, yeah, cool. But
Yep.
it was a cool way to kind of like get some of the exposition out of the way in a little fun way.
Yeah. When I used to take public transport all the time, there's always one dude on the bus who just wants to talk to you about nonsense. I remember reading like Nightfall on the bus. This guy's like, "Oh, you like comics? What are you reading?" Nightfall. Oh man, never heard of it. And then he went on to talk about Family fucking Circus. I couldn't believe it. I was so pissed. Like it's like talking about all this great newspaper clippings. Family Circus. Shut up, man. Oh, anyway, sorry. Expletives. Watch out. It's an adult show. Let's see here. So we've got Luthen finally meets up with Bix. Pretty casual, walking around with his little walking stick. And Luthen's goals go beyond this like imperial peace that Cassian's selling. He kind of wants to get this guy on board. Do we have any reason as to why he would want to do that?
He's trying to start the rebellion.
Yeah, and he knows Andor's desperate. Like, he's well aware that Andor's being hunted right now. And everything is closing in on Andor as of right now. Luthen's closing in, the cops are closing in, and it's all going to come to a head here shortly.
Exactly.
This ship I did not like. It looked dumb, I thought.
Looks like a Toblerone got turned into a vessel. But that's where the three shuttles come out of.
Yeah, down on the bottom, and they're inside one of them. They show them all launched down from the bottom there.
Yeah, this is like a carrier of some sort.
Yeah, it's kind of silly. They're coming down in this rickety thing, and then we cut back to Cassian on Kenari, and we got Marva. Marva, the actress, she was Harry Potter's aunt. If you guys watched that movie.
Never saw it.
Oh, the Dursley?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh shit.
Mama Dursley, that's her. Yeah.
Is she kind of looks like what's her name from All in the Family?
Man, you go back way too far.
I know you guys don't know what's her fucking name. Archie.
I know Archie Bunker, and then All in the Family is.
But these two are like battlefield scavengers or something. They came to loot this ship, I think, and they find him on there. They're looking for something specific, though. It seems like some certain component or part. So.
Yeah, and they said they'd found a couple of them. They're like, the guy here who basically takes on the role of Cassian's father says, like, we've got enough. We're good. He's important in the story, too. I don't think he actually gets a lot of screen time, but he's pretty significant in the story for the way that he gets treated. So they find Cassian freaking out, and what does she do? She, like, injects him with something. She drugs and kidnaps a child because she's like, some people will be here soon.
Yeah, the other dude's like, let him leave him. She's like, well, kill him. I won't let him die.
It's because they killed one of those Republic officers, right? Mm-hmm. So they know that if the Republic shows up, they're going to kill this kid. So she drugs him because he's freaking out, and then she takes him so that he doesn't get murdered.
That's what my step-parents told me.
But that, I think, goes back to the origins of
right after they tricked you with free candy.
Of who she is. I think they're from the separatist side of the war, possibly, because they're like talking about the Republic. They're like, they're going to come here and kill children. Like, you've never seen anyone in Star Wars fear the Republic is going to come there and kill their kids, except for separatists, right?
Right, and that's something we come into contact with the rebellion, is we see the darker side of things. We see Luthen acting in a way where he's like, not to give spoilers, but later on it's like, there are a bunch of people who will die, and we can't let it be known to anybody that we know that they're going into a trap. Because if we do, then we blow our cover. So those people who we like and who signed up for this job willingly will have to die.
Sulky Ewok is just dropping stuff on us in the chat, too.
Dude, yeah. Sorry, Michael T. you left. Sulky Ewok's my new favorite.
Yeah. Where's
Because
my
I suspect his step parents were probably ex-CIS citizens from somewhere, and not necessarily Republic people.
That's what I think too. This one's like throwing a 5th level character into a 1st level party. It helps. You grab an Andor.
Yeah, and Andor proves to be really resourceful in the getaway, which we see later. So these guys are like cock the walk, all of them watching. Oh, I didn't mean for that to be there. And
that was for you, Mo.
Where are you, Corey? Come back here.
It's normally for Corey. Yeah.
So they come to Andor's house immediately, and they confront Mrs. Dursley, and they put like a watch on her. But this whole time, like the town's like, the hell is happening? What are these corpos doing here? They're banging pots and warning everybody what's going on. Again, like this is a tight-knit, small town, high trust society where people are like, we kind of all have to work independently to work together. So when we see a bunch of suits coming in, we're going to be like, yo, 5-0, 5-0. And you see all the neighbors surrounding her house.
Like, ding, ding, ding. They're all banging the shit.
And these corpos think it's just for intimidation that they're doing this, but they're really signaling the whole town.
And I was trying to determine if there was like a specific rhythm that they picked, but it seemed like other than like one or two, most everybody had like their own individual drumming pattern. I don't know if that meant anything. I was trying to discern some meaning from that, like, oh, like ding, 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 ding means here come the corpos, but not quite the case.
I liked it when she told him one of the dudes, one of the cops was saying something. She says, "Oh no, when they stop, that's when you need to worry."
Ray says, if Corey was here, we could have seen that for more than a millisecond. All right, Ray, take your screenshots. Jin the hottie. So Cyril finds the droid, and Andor gave the droid a walkie. So Andor starts flipping out, and he starts talking to the droid like, hey, are you there? Are you charging up? Are you powering down? What's going on? And then Linus, I can't believe the names in here, dude. Linus, Tim with 2 M's. Anyway, he triangulates his position using that walkie coming in. Look at that. Ray says, oh, thanks, guys. Consider Spank Bank fulfilled. You're very welcome, Ray.
You're welcome, Ray.
There's hot Twi'leks back in the beginning of the show. If you go back, and it's like in the first 2 minutes or something.
Hey, Steve, it's your show. We can put hot Twi'leks in any point of the show.
I don't have them in the folder right now. I'd roll it. But...
Oh, okay.
So now we have the Luthen meetup, and Luthen's still undecided. He's like, I don't know if I want to bring this guy in. I'm going to question him. He's not really here for the peace. He's really here for Andor.
Yeah, he's trying to suss him out, determine if he's worth bringing on to the team. By the end of their meeting, he's pretty well determined that he is. But as we see later in the series, even then, he doesn't really quite trust him. And he's willing at certain points to be like, okay, once the job is done, eliminate him, right? And again, one of Cassian's homies comes by and says, look, the corpos are looking for him. Bix is like, what? How did they learn about that? And then Tim just comes in and is like, and Andor's fine. She's like, how did you know who we were talking about?
Yeah, he blew his cover right there. She figured it out.
Blew his cover. Tim, you dog.
You rat
sussing out Andor.
dog.
Snitch.
So she freaks out and goes chasing after her to warn. And then we get the question, he's like, well, Luthen says to Andor, he's like, well, I'm not only after the peace, but I want to know how you got the peace. And he goes,
yes.
It doesn't matter how I got the piece. And he's like, I'll give you an extra 1,000 credits to tell me how you got this piece. And Andor gives him the truth. He's like, I just walked in like I own the place, and nobody even questioned. They're so fat and arrogant that they don't even question that anyone like me would even walk into their house.
That's how you get into the ball game, you know.
That's how I got into that Chicago Comic Con kind of.
That's what sold Luthen. He's like, yeah, I got my dude.
Just walk in with authority.
Just walk right in like you're supposed to. No one will say shit to you.
Put your shoulders back. Just go. Somebody holds open a door. You go, thank you. And if somebody asks for something, you go, oh, shoot. Did I leave that in the... Oh, I'll be right back. Then just go around the other exit. Yeah. So Andor, class act. He's got it all this time. Skarsgård just looking him dead in the face with a blaster.
Oh, that was what I was talking about earlier. Yeah, he's got the gun to his head. And he's not afraid at all. He's just telling him, like, you know, don't be retarded. Let's go. You can come with me. I'm your only choice and all that kind of stuff.
Yes. This is where Tim's part in this like really comes into play, because if Andor had met with Luthen and he didn't have the threat of the Corpos like actually coming to Ferrix, would he have chosen to go with him? Probably not.
No.
He'd say, I want the money. I'm out later.
And I feel like that's even kind of the case with the whole heist we're going to come up and see in the next few episodes, is that he doesn't know whether he really wants to be in or out. And it's the journey, the friends he makes along the way, I guess.
Oh, did I double these? Oh boy, I'm an idiot. Okay. So Luthen had set charges all over the place so that by the time the Corpos come down, he blows open the doors. You know, there's a...
He says, always make your exit on your during your entrance or something. He puts slap charges on the doors on his way in.
Yeah. And you've got Bix here who's got knocked in the face, so Tim sees that and she's like, what the hell? And he gets blasted.
Yeah, he charges like an idiot. Man. He's like, they hit you, and then like they're holding guns to him, and he just starts running at them, like he's gonna do anything, and then he gets blasted and he killed. He's dead.
It's like this lady up the street from me called the cops because everyone was speeding down our road. First person the cops pulled over and gave a ticket was her. So what happens if you call the cops to your house, man? They will find something to pin on you.
Yeah. What's that under your couch?
Like if someone's not trying to murder you, do not call them, you know, short of that.
Sulky Ewok says, I enjoyed little things like blaster rifles seemed either restricted even for cops in the Empire, or the Corpos are too cheap to give rifles to everyone.
It's entirely likely that they're just too cheap. Think about any sort of corporate situation where it's like, here's a tool that would really help you to, I don't know, put clothes away. We only have 3. So the other 12 of you are going to need to figure out how to do it just by looking at the barcode. That's, yeah, that fits. Tim dead.
Is dead.
He got.
Thanks for grabbing that still, eh? That's that's the best one of the night.
Oh. Yeah.
So the blast goes off, and the Corpos realize that they're under fire and that the town is not really here to serve them, and they're in deep shit. So they leave Bix because they were originally going to arrest her because she looked guilty. And they leave her, just leave her bloodied in the street.
Handcuffed to the wall in front of her dead boyfriend, and they just left. And she's just sitting there.
Yeah.
Staring at him.
Proud of that shot.
Oh, man. Oh, Mo, you're killing me.
It's like Eyes Wide Shut, yeah.
Like Eyes Wide Shut, exactly. Ooh, that's
he knows he's got a
last
flask.
episode.
He takes a little swig right before.
Yeah, you can see the flask right there. I love that little detail. He's like, I need a little chaser. He's probably got Fireball in there.
Mm-hmm.
He loves Fireball. And Cyril tries to go off and find Andor by himself, and this is a point where like Andor probably should have pulled the trigger, but he doesn't. Like,
Yeah, I mean
despite Luthen like
they've
telling him not to.
showed him already kill people ruthlessly for less, and so
Mm.
why did he not kill this guy right here? You see him in the next shot tied up, and you're like, that was a little bit of plot armor for Cyril.
Well, I don't think I don't think Andor wants to kill people unless he absolutely has to.
I know, but if there's anyone he has to kill, it's this freaking dude. He may not know that it's this specific one. He's probably just another one of the cops or something, but still.
Well, let's consider that. Yeah, he probably just thinks he's another cop, right? Gun for hire.
He already killed 2 cops.
He killed 2 who saw him and can identify him pretty easily, right? Now they all know his face, right? But
yeah, at this point, it's out of his hands. They know who he is.
Cyril hasn't seen him though, right? Like Cyril doesn't turn around. Maybe there's a way to get
gain him nothing, so he doesn't do it. I guess probably. All right.
It is a bit like it is one of those moments in the show where it's like this has to happen to make the show happen.
Get a job at Wendy's after the battle.
Wait, fuck Full Metal Jacket. What is going on here, Mo Biggs?
Yeah, we don't need Full Metal Jacket anymore. We got Andor.
Oh man.
It's like, yo, Tim, what's the story on that tank?
And so
right here.
There's a sequence of things that are happening like to these corpos that make it look like there's this vast army taking them on, but really it's like Cassian's friend like hog tying this large piece of junk to one of their vehicles, right? You have Bix and Tim kind of distracting people for a bit. Like there isn't like one unified concerted effort to take on the corpos, but it seems like a bigger thing,
Just a general attitude. They all hate these motherfuckers.
They do. They don't want them here. The town does not want the corpos anywhere near this place. So
should go back one. Like this whole thing, they tie this a giant anchor. They wire this huge piece of metal to this ship, and just like the whole physics of the thing seemed a little bit weird. Like that spaceship can't haul that. Like how much does that thing weigh? How strong is this wire or whatever? And it didn't seem like the logistics were realistic, but it ended up being kind of cool, like the way it looked and everything. But the whole time I'm thinking, why can't that ship just fly with that thing hanging off of it like it's a freaking spaceship?
Right, but I don't think it's a towing ship, right? Like it's meant to clear orbit, but I mean, you think about like a little panel falling off of like some shuttle that we're trying to send to the moon, and all of a sudden it's like, okay, we have to stop the operation because we're like a little bit off. Did they name the anchor Kathleen? Yeah.
Yeah, basically Andor is the replacement for Kyle Katarn from the former EU, from the Dark Forces video games, where you got to, it's basically Doom, and your character Kyle Katarn, you had to go steal the Death Star plans in the first super easy mission of the whole game. And they wiped all that out, and they've got Andor, but he's very similar.
Mm.
I mean,
we're getting down here to the end.
Yeah, this is like almost the very end, that shot.
Pretty much, because and Cassian and Luthen, they're looking for a way out, so they come into this place where there are a couple of speeder bikes, and Cassian like points to this speeder, and he's like, hold on, let's use this. So they send a speeder out, and to the corpos, they think that somebody's in there trying to escape. Like Cyril comes out, rips off his his whatever's obstructing his mouth, and says, "They're there, get them." So they shoot the ship down. It like flips over, and they're all celebrating like, "We got
him
him."
and Linus give each other this look like, yeah, we're badass. And then all of a sudden the speeder comes out the other way and that thing blows up.
Yep. And takes out like 3 other corpos with them.
They just realize, oh, we're fucked.
Yeah.
We're going to get in trouble from our boss.
Yeah. Cyril's face, he's done. He's like, oh my God, I failed spectacularly. And I didn't do it by the book. And even Linus like comes up to him and is like, "Sir, we need to move. Sir,
we got to get out of here." I love his Irish accent.
Schedule. The schedule. They say that over and over. The way that they cut it though, there was 3 like this part here and this part here and the escape of Andor and Luthen, and they intercut it to where the motion and the actions was if it was all one scene, like they're escaping, they get on a ship, and they kept cutting to the other scene, but it was like it was the same scene, the actions, and they had edited that sequence together so well because there was like 3 things going on, but it, they lined it all up linearly. It was cool.
And that is the end. They make their escape, and they're on
he
the
wakes
path
up,
to another planet.
Yeah.
It's a very solid start to this show.
Yeah. And it's like the first quarter, and each of these, like it's almost perfectly segmented into like its own little arc, right? So it kind of keeps it going. This is the, like, I need to get out of Dodge arc. And from here after that, it's the heist. And then it's jail. And then it's the uprising.
Yep.
And it's, I know, Mo.
Well, jail and uprising are kind of simultaneous, but.
That's true. I just want to take time to speak to Mo. Mo, get to episode 3, man. Just do that for me. Just get to episode 3. If at that point you're like, nope, you don't have to listen to another word I ever say. I got you, man.
He's not going to listen to another word you ever say. But I would say if you're going to get into it, the heist is where it's at, man. Like that's really where I like this first arc, but the kicking off is the heist.
I was just gonna say, if you like 3 episode arcs, here is episode 3 of our 3 episode arc.
Yeah, this is what you all came for.
That is a brilliant segue, Steve.
That was a good one, wasn't it?
Dude, that was great. Did you write that down?
I just came up with that right on the spot. Like, you believe that?
So, introducing you to episode 3 of Droids.
Here we go.
Creeping softly through my crack ghetto, my crack pipe in my hand. It's just his brain, addicted to cocaine. It's got me running again, smoking again. I put my life in jeopardy in my search for big crack rocks. I wouldn't care, but it's a dangerous affair. Got me running again, smoking again.
After discovering the secret blue rock mine of space Africa and the secret code that enables them to purchase crack, our heroes make a deal with some questionable characters.
Hope it don't take too long, because I'm fucking geeking.
It'll totally be worth the wait, bro.
What the fuck, man?
We've been waiting like 40 fucking minutes.
Oh, this wait is interminable. I need something to pass the time. Oh, I know. Did you know that before Ben Quadranoros was a pod racer, that he was a port-to-port adhesive salesman? Well, it all started after his second divorce.
That's smooth as fuck. Oh yeah, brah. We gotta weigh out that hippie fella's order yet, man. Where's all the rest of the blue rocks at? I guess we could just sell in this brown stuff, brah. He'll never know the difference, man.
Come on, Spliff! We're supposed to follow Space Jesus! We can use this tunnel to keep an eye out!
Sorry it's taking so long. Perhaps you'd like to enjoy some of our space heroin while you wait.
You wanna chase that purple crate dragon, boy?
No thanks. I'm trying to go the other way. I don't really do too good with needles either. It's the finest Keshels can buy. If I could just get my crack, please.
Got your order right here, Space Jesus.
Yeah, let me get the shit.
I hope you fucking like it, man.
Smoke it. Smoke it. What do you think? These ain't even blue. What the fuck you cut them with? It's good, isn't it? It's not that good. So you refuse our heroin and insult our crack? These ain't the blue rocks.
Shit sucks!
Hey, what are you doing?
Get 'em, Spliff! Brown rocks are bad
Oh,
rocks!
where'd you come from, Fidget? Stop! You owe me 40 Keshels! Fuck your 40 Keshels. I ain't paying you for that fucking bunk. Get them! Fuck him, guys. We gotta get us some blue rocks.
This tunnel can lead us out! We gotta go that way!
Lead the way, Fidget.
All clear! But what do we do now?
Time for my invisibility cloak.
Look, over there. Screed ship. You're just in time, R2.
Cool.
I'm invisible.
I've got a plan. Fidget, you're the wheelman.
Oh, wow! I know just what to do!
If you see the ship take off, then meet us back at the village.
Okay.
If not, we're gonna need to get the fuck out of here quick. Go get your bulldozer thing and get ready to pick us up. You guys come with me.
Invisibility cloak off.
Nice.
Excellent. I'll just return that to its proper franchise later.
Hop in this space dumpster.
Oh, dumpster. Haven't heard that nickname since my days at Coruscant PS 1138.
School's for losers. Phew. Smells like ass. I knew a dude who used to live in one of these. Poor bastard.
Somebody wrote bow every day in urine. Shh. There's got to be some crack around here.
Look. It's Screed. Make sure to load all the blue rocks onto my spaceship. Lock down security. That's the one. Now if we can just figure out a way to get on board. Oh, wait. Look.
Oh, what have you found? Nunchucks? A used condom?
What do we have here?
A scruffy but lovable drug addict? Oh, and now he's cross-dressing.
Do I look like a droid?
I didn't know we were working with a transistor.
How about now?
Just make sure you use the correct evacuator.
Alright, 3PO. Be cool. Don't say nothing fucking weird. What's up, dude? Just delivering some crack. Like us droids do.
Oh yes, just two droids.
Excuse me.
Falling apart and ripping ass, that's what we do.
Oh fuck, got this.
Saw programming.
I've been a trooper a long time. I still don't fucking get droids.
All right, let's get that crack. Feels good. Buckle up, bitches. Turn on. Yes.
Look at all these boxes of crack. This is a major score. There must be 30 million Keshels worth of crack up there. Alright, this is it. Here we are, R2. Start this bitch up. Let's get the fuck out of here. Hurry up, and make sure not to set off the motherfucking alarm.
What? Oh, you pressed the right buttons at the wrong time. I'm gonna set this bitch off now.
Oh shit, set off the fucking alarm. What's that?
Hashtag me first, baby. They trying to take me and the crack.
Someone's trying to steal the ship.
Yeah!
There's 30 million kestrels worth of crack on there. Stop them! Hello?
I'm falling, and I can't get up.
Not now, Ma. Someone's trying to steal our crack. Get them! Stop that ship!
Oh my! They're blasting our asses like it's backdoor bottoms for a new home!
That's our cue.
The fuck? What's it?
Woohoo, shithead.
Sweet! Fuck yeah, fidget!
What's all the racket out here? Trying to enjoy my buzz, bro.
Eat my dongle, nerds! I am fluent in over 6 million forms of fuck you!
Bro. Broke my bone, dude. Now I'm gonna have to hot knife these 8 balls. That's not gnar. That's not gnar at all, bro.
Chapo, you fool! This is all your fault.
My fault, bruh.
If you weren't so busy smoking up our inventory, this would have never happened.
You let an 8-year-old take out your cannons with a bobcat, man. I haven't seen a failure that bad since the droid army was destroyed by a kid who never even flew before, brah.
The Emperor will not be pleased.
I want some water or crack. Sigh. They made it back, Spliff! Hey, Space Jesus! Those guys were super sketch!
You just scored 30 million kestrels worth of blue rocks, dude.
Oh, wow!
Let's fire this bad boy up. Time to get high as fuck.
Alright, you did it! We still need water!
I love you, Space Jesus.
Say what? You need some crack? Yeah, I got you covered, bro.
We still need water. That's like my favorite line.
That was even more exciting than the heist coming up in Andor. That was like even more dramatic. The quick getaway and the 30 million kestrel score, man. That was had me on the edge of my seat.
Even had a bit of romance. Those space Africans really wanted to get on Jesus.
Yeah, we got a shout out to our boy D-Wag, who was Spliff, that little
Spliff
thing, and our boy Jeremy Theveno, Zaid Studio. Or no, he's not Zaid Studios. That's the other dude. He's Zaid something, and he does Beckoned. Drop his link in there, Felix, if you have it or whatever. Zaid. He's got this badass comic called Beckoned. Most of you guys here probably.
Yeah, Beckoned Recourse. It's impressive, man. It's a really impressive looking comic. Beyond that, he's a really good dude, and
he's a
clearly
good,
talented
voice actor as well. He does another character coming up in the rest of the series as well.
Yeah, man, I love that part.
It's all about
Buckle
the
up, bitches. Oh, brilliant. Oh. See, Mobig says, that's why I watch this show. It's a good thing we saved that till the end. So we played that in the middle, we would have lost Mo for another hour. Oh, man.
We're working on some similar content. Droids isn't the only trick we got up our sleeve. That's just one of many, many great things that we're working on. So,
oh yeah, If you think we're done with Ewok puns for one thing, no, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, we got Ewok stuff lined up.
And Ahsoka's going to get a new job, I heard. Let's see what happens about that.
Well, there's a lot of explaining to do between her time, like the end of season 7, right, of Clone Wars, and then leading up to Rebels. There's a lot of time to fill. How are you going to get that cheddar? How are you going to feed yourself, right? These are the questions that we are trying to answer.
As Star Wars fans, we need these questions answered.
Silky Ewok says, droids was bizarre to begin with, but that was insane. You're welcome.
We try to make each one a little bit more retarded than the one before. So far, we've been quite successful, I think.
Yeah, unlike George Lucas, who made a lot of people angry by going backwards with the prequels, we did like the first few episodes, right? And then
Episode
we went
4
backwards in
was the
time.
first one we made. Yeah,
it rhymes, dude. It rhymes. Went back and made 1, 2, and 3, and made everybody much happier.
Sulky Ewok, since you are a new face, episode 1 and 2 of Droids, if you go watch the last 2 live streams,
they're at the end.
Yeah, they're in there. I don't know if they're necessarily at the end, but they're in there.
They're pretty close to the very end, I think, on both of them. And we're going to post them up individually here soon. That's my fault. We got a lot of videos that I haven't put up yet.
Do we have a Discord link for Sulky Ewok in case he wants to join the Discord?
Yeah, we get a lot of people like to do the Ask Steve questions in the Discord.
Oh yeah, you can submit your questions directly there. Let's go ahead. Let me see if I can get link copy.
I'm on it.
Oh man.
We did do a couple special edition recuts to our original episode 4, just like George Lucas. It didn't have any do-backs the first time around, so.
Mo says, will Ahsoka be a professional B-boy?
Just have to find out.
Gotcha, crazy.
We're making a new movie, and it's I ran into some computer problems this week, and I had to take my computer to the shop. So we're a little bit behind on our schedule, but
our schedule's not very schedule-ish to begin with.
Our schedule. Yes. If we pronounce it schedule, maybe we'll get stuff out on time. That's the key.
Elmer Duga Booga, welcome to the show.
Duga Bagoo. That's
okay. Yeah, I probably said it wrong. I'm illiterate.
Yes, I'm sure you know a lot more about Andor now because of this riveting stream. Thank you.
The main takeaway for a lot of people should be it's not as bad as the other Star Wars. So give it a chance, and you might even walk away thinking, wow, I'm glad I watched that. That was pretty cool.
I wouldn't even say
Mo will not walk away saying that.
I would say it's not even as bad. It's just not bad. And when I came into the show with my preconceived notions, I was just looking for reasons not to like it.
That's what I'm saying.
Crazy Mad got to me. Like he said, look, trust me, try it again, watch it with the clear, try 4 episodes, you'll be hooked. And I was. So come on, give it a. Wow, Perth says the prison arc sucked. Really? Oh,
I kind of like that part. I just got into the beginning of it just a couple hours ago.
That's the Andy Serkis part.
Yeah, but hey, you like the heist arc? Hey, see Perth giving it a shot. There you go, man.
I feel like Perth gives all Star Wars a shot too. Like he's always in here and he's always knowledgeable about what's going on in the Star Wars universe.
Poor guy.
He always knows what we're talking about. So he's right there with us, having to watch the bad Star Wars to get to the good Star Wars.
If I say, poor guy, he's had to suffer. I know what it's like.
And feel for us who watch it over and over for this show.
Yeah. Yeah. I've dropped a link to Mr. Thebano's beckoned recourse. It's closed, but you're going to want to take a look at the cover art and some of the interiors. It's really incredible. He's a really awesome guy and worth a follow.
Yeah, Beckoned is amazing looking, and
Mhm.
Jeremy Theveno, also known as Zade Zade, he's one of the best artists in the entire sphere, dude. Like he's so good.
He's really good. His
Mobig
drawing is
says,
good. His composition is good. Colors look good.
Yep, that's how I felt, especially because I kind of watched the first like 3 episodes and didn't absorb any of it.
Yeah, I was like, my mind was not open to the possibility that it could be good at that point because I think didn't it come out right after Boba Fett?
Yes.
And I was just like, and I was also starting up my YouTube channel, and I was like, I need to find some retarded Star Wars to make fun of in some YouTube shorts. So I went in there watching that thing, and I couldn't find that much to make fun of.
Yeah, as it was me coming to you being like, give it 4 episodes, it was Steve coming to me being like, give it 4 episodes.
Yep. See, that's how it goes. Trust.
I had to watch
your
it
buddies.
again. I watched like four or 5 episodes.
Well, we watched it.
And
We all watched it.
Started like, yeah, we were all watching it together, and we were kind of like making
Talking
fun
over
of it.
it.
And yeah, we got to do a little bit of group think. I think where we were just having a good time making fun of it, and then it started to get harder and harder to make fun of, and to the point where we were like, that car we just made fun of really wasn't that stupid at all. We're just like, we're being haters, and it's like, Colonel Craig. That's Zaid. Yeah, it's just like we wanted to hate it, and we ended up not hating it. So I mean, it did take like if you say you only got into like 1 or 2 episodes, we're at the same point at that point. It took us, a little bit longer to catch on and say, okay, this is good. And I know you don't trust our opinions now because we told you Ahsoka, you should watch that. And but this one is good, Mo. It actually is good.
Yeah, we told you to watch Ahsoka before it finished, and
Even if you
we
never
were wrong.
saw Rebels and you never saw Clone Wars, it doesn't matter. You don't have to watch them. It had nothing to do with this. There's
You don't
no
even need to watch
cartoon
Rogue One.
puppets or anything to have anything. Yes, this all leads up to Rogue One. When you're done watching this, you'll probably want to go back and watch Rogue One again.
Yeah, Bo actually likes Rogue One.
I will give any new Star Wars a chance, but the magic you felt in the cinema is gone. I'd say I agree with that too. And I think some of the magic was still there with the prequels. I remember watching those in theaters and being like, man, this is exciting. Didn't get that from the Disney sequels. Rogue One was the exception. You can't appreciate good things. Sorry.
Me and you are gonna go toe to toe in this prequels one when we finally do the prequels episodes.
Oh, it's going to be me and Steve versus you in the chat, and Steve and I are prepared to take them on. The prequels are good.
Mo, I'm going to need your backup.
I'm gonna take Mo's wrench away before that episode starts. He's gonna ban everybody.
I've got a video of Steve defending the prequels.
Give up? I never give up. I didn't give up to the corrupt republic. I didn't give up to the empire. And I won't give up to you.
You're a separatist.
Separatist is a pejorative term. I support democracy. Count Dooku was a visionary. He was cut short in his prime by the Jedi forces.
That's Mo Katan trying to silence me.
Mo Katan. Oh, I originally edited that in as you hitting your own mute button, but now I'm going to call her Mo Katan. There's no... I'm going back and editing that. Oh, I love it.
All right, guys, you ready to end this fucking thing?
Yeah.
Unless you want to look at 3 actresses try to
You
play
got
with
something
toys.
else? Okay.
It is what it is. It's just Ahsoka unboxing.
Wait. I forgot we had this.
The force be with you.
Look at how much like Rosario Dawson is acting to enjoy this, and contrast that with how much acting she did in the show. What happened?
I don't even recognize her. She's not crossing her arms, man.
Dude, you're right. And this other girl with the long hair, who is she?
Yeah, we watched this last night, and we ended up just talking about how their hairstyles. Like, she has these dreads, and Sabine, she looks a lot better with long hair.
Sabine looks fine, dude.
I don't like her hair like that. She looks better with long hair.
And then Hera looks like Karen about to report.
Yeah, she's like she
Hera
looks way
looks like a
hotter when
wine
she's
aunt.
green. I know she's like. Am I in control of this? Yeah, look at her. She doesn't even look hot at all.
Yes, Mo, that is Sabine, Ahsoka,
We are currently.
and Hera.
Hera.
This is so funny.
Ewan McGregor's
Oh.
real life wife, right?
Yes.
She's even wearing a pea coat. She's like, you're
I know, what's up with that?
Care about this. Ah.
Why are you covering up in this, but in the show you're just letting that wagon drag? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I like Road Dogg with the dreads, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
like
a
the
dreads fan.
I like
think dreads
the
are gross.
I like the Laku a lot better.
The leg. Oh, Green Chick is yes, yeah. She's a wine aunt, is what
She
she
looks better
is.
green. I'm gonna have like. Don't like Corey. No, I said that.
Like, don't get me wrong. She looked fine. She looked so fine in Scott Pilgrim.
That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Out over all of these amazing. Look at the loft cat. Oh my god.
We could not stop touching the loft cat. It was
Yeah.
just moving and cute and adorable and sweet.
Sabine's like trying to fit in. Like, I'm enjoying this. Look, look at her tooling around with that toothpick, little lightsaber. Like, look at me, I'm playing. She's just twisting it, like it's a Q-tip in her ear. She's just like twisting it back and forth.
And cute and adorable.
How cool!
They even included my beauty mark.
Wow.
The detail. Oh, I love that.
Whoa, she got an accent? Hold on. Enhance.
My beauty mark.
She does have an accent. Okay. That
Yeah,
bumps
I
her
don't-
up.
She's not. I don't think she's American.
Hmm.
I think she's originally from maybe China.
China.
She was in Hidden. Oh wow, what was it? Hidden Tiger, Sleeping Dragon, or whatever the fuck that was.
That movie was weird. I only
Crouching
watched it
Tiger, Hidden
once.
Dragon?
Yes, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. She was in the
That
second
movie's-
one. She
For
was
real,
in the
how old is
second one.
Sabine. She doesn't even look like she's old enough to be in that movie.
She was in the second one.
Oh,
not
the
first
second one. I never heard of the second one.
Don't be dissing my girl, dude.
I just said she looks better with long hair. Is all. That was just my opinion. She should let her hair down.
She looks so much better than.
She's the
Is
best
Robo-
one of those three. I'm not
Mm.
arguing with you.
Eagle-looking girl,
Come
dude.
on. Road
In
Dogg
this
is holding it
video,
down.
I don't
Road
know,
Dogg.
man. I don't know.
Is Rosario even looking at the toy? She looks like she's just staring at the wow. I know, Perth, like my girl Shin wasn't invited. What happened? They just sent her a Lego set. They were like, all right, enjoy.
Yeah, that other picture we showed earlier was happening at the exact same moment. as
Yeah.
this.
That was
Mo
a
is
photo for
right.
Star Wars Celebration.
The second one was Crouching Tiger, Sleeping Dragon.
Oh, it was. Okay. There's a second one?
Yeah.
I didn't even
was
watch the
also
first.
like, the first one was weird.
I liked the first one. The
It's
second
like, what
one
if
was
the Matrix was Chinese? That's kind of what it was.
Oh,
I love that so much. Stop it.
Look at my ship.
Who made this
Oh,
video? Okay,
wow.
who made this video? As a YouTube video maker, I would take more pride than these people took. If this is like supposed to be an actual corporate production, look, they're sitting there talking for like a whole 10 seconds. These three chicks talking about how cute it is. Roll this back a couple seconds. That they put the beauty mark on her figure. Look, the beauty mark, the beauty mark. Now show the figure. Where they show the figure, they don't even show the side with the freaking. You can't even see the beauty mark when they show it.
That's a good point. Put
Like,
that
learn
thing
how
on
to
the
make
table.
a fucking video, man. Come on.
For real,
like
put that figure
101.
on the table. Put that figure on the table. One shot right there, like going
On the
panning
beauty
left to
mark.
right on the beauty mark. Man, you're right. Like they're not even looking at the toys. They're just like, buy it because it's Star Wars. Perth's right. Kathleen Kennedy made it. That's probably what happened. That's why the video is this.
Make it gay. Make it lame.
Put a
Okay,
chick in
so
it. Make it lame. Make it gay.
they do kind of have like a shot, but like they don't.
Like, look,
Where's
her
the
beauty
beauty
mark?
mark?
Is right there in the shadow on the other side of her nose. The whole thing
Yep.
that they're talking about leading up to this, and they don't even. All they had to do was turn that freaking figure 45 degrees. 90
Who
degrees.
painted this? Like my 5-year-old? The definition in his face is lacking. At least from this like shot that we get. Maybe it looks really good in the right lighting, but it looks awful here.
There was
I don't
more
like
acting in this 30-second commercial
Yeah,
than there was in
some
the
good
entirety
acting.
of
They
Ahsoka.
pretended to like Star Wars for a minute. It's more than more than most of them can do.
Exactly.
Oh, whoa. Oh, wow. Okay, I'm taking it apart.
Look at you, you're in the ship. I love it. Oh, stop it. Oh my God.
I want to see how.
What is she doing with the ship? She's just like trying to grab it without breaking it. She's like, whoa. Look at this.
Stop it. Oh my God.
It moves.
Oh my God, I have never seen this. Okay, this is fucking amazing.
You broke it, bitch.
Look at you in the ship. I know. I love it. I'm getting some joy out of it.
See that big ass Ahsoka toy on the left? They have those at Meijer up the street from my house, and they're on clearance, and no one's buying them because you know what? People don't like action figures that size that are not posable. That you push a button and say 3 things. They made these things over and over since like 1998 with different. There's a Darth Maul one. No one ever buys these fucking things. I don't know why they make them.
Right. Like you press a button and it goes into a different fighting stance and something lights up. Yeah.
They're always on clearance every time.
Mobig says, damn, Ape, just cut to the heart of this. When even 40-year-old women can't get excited about new Star Wars toys, it's over.
Even the core base doesn't like Star Wars anymore. Like,
the people who have been holding Star Wars up, they just can't get excited for it. Look at Sabine. She's like, am I contractually obligated to stay here for much longer?
I have been looking at Sabine the whole time. I don't know what you're talking about.
She's a very pretty lady. No doubt. All right.
Let's see how Chopper works here.
She looks like what?
I said she looks way less flat out of that Mando armor.
That's true.
He's got some curves you can actually see.
Perth did say she needed a boob job, though.
Yeah, she's kind of.
But she's Asian, dude. Like it's not like it's a thing over there.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
All right, I'm gonna cut you off here. Here we go.
Look at my mean mug face. Yes.
Oh, no
This is my favorite thing about Lego. Battle mode Ahsoka.
See, here's another point, Steve, where it'd be like, it'd be really cool if we had 2 Ahsokas side by side that showed like the mean mug face that she's talking about and the regular like face.
Yeah, because you can't see it.
Steve.
I'm like, are you sharing a video? What like a
Tree Goblin?
Oh, what's up, Tree Goblin?
What's up? just in time for the end of our show.
Bo says, as I pointed out in the first episode, the armor was only there intended to deflect the male gaze.
Yes, exactly. Because look, now she's using choppers. She's like, quit staring at my chest, you misogynist male gazers.
I'm putting together a compilation of all the times that Sabine gets hit in this show, and it's a lot. It's stretching like close to 2 minutes. She's not battle ready. Like, she's supposed to be this trained Mandalorian, and that armor is the only thing keeping her from certain death. Because at every opportunity, she's just getting beamed in the head by laser blasts. It's incredible.
That's why we put this on this episode. We're very into like thematic episodes. We like to keep everything connected or related, not just random nonsense. So yeah, this commercial is just like Andor. Going through drudgery for a paycheck.
Damn, Mo, cutting with the deep cuts. The actresses are performing under protest. It was in their contracts that Shin would be in the room to make them look hotter. Oh, jeez. Oh.
We are so excited to share it with you. We really hope you enjoy seeing Sabine and General Harrison Dula and Ahsoka Tano come to life. And you too, Choppy
And
Chop.
Chopper.
And Choppy.
There you go. Women enjoying Star Wars. Oh, sorry.
What the? Who did that?
Sorry.
I didn't do it this time, did I?
No,
Maybe I
when I remove the video, then like you try to remove the video.
That's what it is. Like the video, they're like lined up, and the video is right there, and I go to click, and you click it before me, and crazy slides over there real quick.
Well, it's Ape's Law. If it can go wrong, it's Ape's Law.
Ape's Law. I like that.
I don't know where.
Oh, Dean's back.
Oh, hey,
Dean.
Dean.
Where'd you
I'll
go?
show you.
You missed all
Here
the
you go.
good stuff, Dean.
Why not?
Not necessarily.
Oh, I got something else. Okay.
That's all. You're welcome, Dean. I mean, after that, I don't think I really have anything else except for like a stunt video that shows them like mocapping for the Clone Wars, but we don't need to go into that.
You don't want to show it?
Yeah, we can. Sure. It's just one last thing.
Okay.
It's a dumb little thing.
Buzzing all the bells out the box. I just hit a lick with.
We can mute that. That's incredibly annoying. That's kind of cool.
Or just showing that out of context. Okay, yeah, that was cool. Okay, cool.
Exactly. That's so I was saying we don't need to show it, and you're like, show
On
it.
that note.
Cool.
I didn't know they were
Okay.
mocap for that.
Yeah, pretty cool, right? Yeah. I dig it.
Well, thank you all for showing up to the Blue Milk Social. Dean, Earth, Mo, Elmer, Jeremy Burtz.
Oh, Biggs, Perth Comics, Felix Haas, as always, thank you so much. Tree Goblin, thanks for stopping by.
Salty Ewok.
Michael T was here. Mermaid, yeah. Ice Queen
Kiwi
was here.
Skirt. Yep, thank you, Ice Queen.
Kiwi Skirt. Not gonna forget you, Sulky Ewok, dropping knowledge all the show. Ray Haylock.
Michael T, thank you for coming.
Hugo Bagoo. That's a good name.
Yuga Bagoo.
It's hard to say. It's a good name.
Yuga Bagoo is a great Star Wars name.
Tree Goblin. My boy JB. Felix the Link Master. Dean. Is that it? We get everyone. All right, guys. See you next time.